Something like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen some people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this. And it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, we are back with another fantastic show. We are going to be dealing with something that, a lot of different things are coming into they're coming into contact with each other. I'll say it like that. It's like a lot of different things are coming into contact with each other all at the same time. So today's show, black men are out of bounds, so use other players. Yes, y'all. Black men are out of bounds, so use other players. Now, y'all, well, before we get into this, let me first say shout out to all the people who give me views on a regular basis, because y'all make up the fam around here, so I definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to all the people who leave comments after the stream. Y'all are helping us grow the channel, helping the algorithm. And I'm going to say I apologize for not getting back to some of y'all right now. I try to make sure I get back to everybody who responds. I know it's been rough the last few days, so I haven't, but I'll be getting to it soon. And shout out to everyone who save a hype for me, y'all. You got to save a hype for me, okay? Hype me up every chance you get. Save one for a brother at the end of the day, man. Just save one for a brother. I appreciate everybody who hypes me up every chance they get. And shout out to everyone who hits that like button, the main source of support, one of the main sources of support. Well, all these are main sources of support, y'all. So appreciate you big time. Appreciate you big time. And I got to say, shout out to my main man, the Revelator, y'all. He sent in a cash app yesterday, just thanking me for doing that particular show. But it didn't come up for me to say it on air. So I'm saying it right now. And because I didn't get a chance to say it while I was on air yesterday, guess who's the sponsor of today's stream? My main man, the Revelator. He comes through. He supports the show. And, he's been a great supporter. So shout out to the Revelator. You are the sponsor of today's stream. Thank you very much, my brother, for all you do. And that's real talk. And, okay, let me give a few shout outs to some of the first people to check in this morning. It's always great when you start a show that you see a few people out there ready, raring to go, people showing their support, because I appreciate each and every one of you. Real talk, but y'all know how it goes. There can only be one. So shout out to the Highlander of today's stream. Okay. Okay. Well, hold on. There we go. Okay. Shout out to my main man MJD. The second is on point. He made it through, y'all. He is just above my main man Trail Billy, man. And y'all, Trail been doing this thing lately. So MJD, I salute you, brother. I salute you. It was right in front of Trail Billy. So thank you very much, my brother. Shout out to Trail Billy as well, who's representing like he always do. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. And an especially one for today. Hashtag Hail Hydra. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. There go Floyd Thompson coming in and grabbing a seat at the cool table. Yay, yay. Elder Bud is in the house. Great to see you. Great to see you. Shout out to the pit master himself, Chef Mike's Roundtable, representing for the pit crew. Shout out to J Dub, also of the pit crew. And shout out to Mr. Suge, to you as well, the pit crew. Always good to have them in the building. Shout out to I said it. What's good, my brother? What's up? Glad to see you. Music Man 1982 is in the house. Great to see you as well. Inspired Truth Broadcast is in the building. What's good, my brother? What's good? Afro Merchant is checking in. Great to see you. The Creator is in the house. Good to see you too. We got Bronk in the building. What's good, my brother? What's good, y'all? And we about to kick this thing off, y'all. All right. If you didn't know, okay? If you didn't know, and shout out to you, Afro Merchant. Thank you very much, my brother. He said, glad you're doing this topic. I try to get out to the right stuff. I try to get to the right stuff, y'all. But I'm gonna take this topic in a way that at least I believe it needs to go. We got this. There's a lot of conversation. I put a few links in the description so y'all can see different parts of the conversation being had. Okay. There's people who are not very supportive of us having a conversation that would make you think they're supportive of us. And when I say us, I mean black men, y'all. I mean black men. All right. Now, there is this initiative, that's the way I heard it put forward. There's an initiative called the Out of Bounds Initiative. All right. And they are calling upon, quote unquote, black athletes not to go to certain schools because they are trying to achieve an outcome where certain districts will, redo their paperwork for the sake of people voting. That's kind of interesting. That's interesting. Okay. And they're saying that one thing that they could do to help voters' rights, and that's a very interesting thing to put out there. So in order to help voting rights, in order to help redistricting, what you want is for black men. Okay, because let's be realistic about this stuff, y'all. When you're talking football, You talking black men. All right. Now I understand they saying athletes. If you talking basketball, you talking black men. Now I'm gonna say shout out to all the white folks and the others that get out there and do their things. It's not like they don't exist. It's not like people don't tune in to see them and things like that. But when you start talking about the black athlete and the influence the black athlete has, yeah, I give you some credit. We there's a little influence a brother could have by playing basketball. There's a little influence a brother can have by playing football at a college level. There is some level of influence. Let's keep that real. But ain't no one player bigger than the team. Okay? Ain't no one player bigger than the team. That don't really happen in college sports. When people want something in college sports, the team backs that particular person because they even as student athletes get a pretty good idea that ain't nobody bigger than the team. That don't really work out too well for people who try to become bigger than the team. Now, people say all these things about what young people got to do and how young people put themselves on the line for the country. I mean, honestly, young people have put themselves on the line. They've done it many times in many places, and they've done it to get stuff. Do I have a problem with young people putting themselves on the line? No. If you believe it's right for you to put yourself on the line, I think you got to go out there. And as a leader, if you truly believe you're a leader, and I know a lot of people truly believe being a leader is about how many people you can get to follow you. No, being a leader is being willing to do it for yourself, by yourself, okay? And take on whatever cost is going, take on whatever cost is going to come with that particular territory. That's how you can become the greatest leader. It's not that other people won't eventually follow you. It's about you got to do what you believe in. You got to do what's right in your heart. You got to do what makes you feel good about yourself. You got to do what you believe is right. You got to live the life that you're trying to die with. Okay? And a lot of people don't think of it in those terms. It's just something my parents gave to me. You got to live the life that you want to die with. When you turn around and look back at your life, if you are lucky enough to be some 98-year-old man or even a woman, and you looking back on what you did with your life and you don't want to have regrets, you want to make sure that you took the opportunities to do certain things that you thought were the right things. Okay? And I want you to do that. Okay? If you live to be 101 and you look back on your life, I want you to be proud of the life you live. Because you got to check out here by yourself. Okay? We all have some different ideas of what may happen to us when we check out. I got Christian beliefs. Some folks may have Muslim beliefs. We got different beliefs on how it's going to be when we check out of here. But when you check out, I wish that you get to check out with the life that you wanted to have. Okay? So at least whatever you get in the afterlife, you know exactly why you're there. And you did use your power of choice to get what you wanted. And y'all, I think a lot of this is about the power of choice. This out of bounds initiative, okay? It's about choice. Now, over a small period of time from a historical standpoint, okay? College athletes are now getting these NIL deals. So now you can actually play college ball and generate some money for yourself and not just the school. Okay? The schools have made a lot of money on college athletes. So now the schools are starting to share some of the money with the students who actually help bring all that revenue in. They starting to share some of the money. That's progress. All right. Now, is voting important? Yes. Do I personally believe that someone should be able to block you from making your vote? No, not at all. All right. A lot of changes have been made over the years when it comes to voting. But my thing is, until we change the rules, no one should be trying to stop anybody else from voting. And see, me understand that I'm an American. If you try to stop me from voting, you're probably gonna get an instant response. Okay, because there are things that you did a little for, but there's things you did a lot for. And when I have to think about, which will put me in that position, if you tell me I can't vote when I'm supposed to vote, you're putting me in a position to think about all the people who made all the sacrifices they did just to put me in a position where I can make the vote. Why you want me to think about people who died for me to make this vote? So, I mean, you could do that if you wanted to. You can make me think about all that at that moment. Not that I ain't gonna think about those people from time to time, but if you want to make me think about that at that moment, hey, bro, that's on you. I wouldn't remind me of that. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. That is not something I would remind me of. If I'm trying to go vote, you shouldn't be reminding me about the fact that people had to die for me to get to this vote. Because I don't think I'm gonna just get it up real easy. That's just me personally. You know, I'm gonna feel some kind of way about that, as they say, y'all. I'm gonna feel some type of way. You know, problem with feelings can drive actions. So I wouldn't be trying to be all in my face trying to tell me about anything that's gonna make me think about how people had to die for me to vote in the first place. I don't think that's a good position. But there are people who are going to take positions like that. Okay. And they're calling upon the quote unquote black athlete. Now, I'm being realistic. Where is a lot of that power going to come from when it comes to that quote unquote black athlete? A lot of that power is coming with a black man. Okay. We're talking about college athletes. So you basically talking about people who have basically already had their 18th birthday, so they're technically adults at this point. You may get a few that ain't quite had that birthday where they made 18 as of yet, but usually talking about guys that have had their 18th birthday. This is technically a beginning to their adult world. Now they still in that college bubble, and I'm gonna say y'all enjoy that college bubble while you can, because once you out of it, you out of it, and you ain't gonna get it back. But you're asking these particular people to do something that I don't see where they benefit from. I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm not just saying this because if you've been listening to the Roger Report Live for any period of time, you already are aware that the Roger Report Live does not trust the Democrats, nor does he trust the Republicans. Okay, I think those are two parties that everybody should literally go out and vote for anybody else other than them, at least for a good period of time, so they can start asking for your vote again. So they can say, hey, we know you need something done. This is what we'll do. So we'll get you your vote and then go out and get results, which I don't think any party does. So for me to hear people asking, especially young black men, to give up opportunities, because let's keep it real, y'all. It's a good opportunity to go to college and get a degree and pay nothing for it. That's just good on its own. It's better when you can get NIL money on top of that. It's even better if you are one of the people lucky enough to perform at a high enough level where you can actually make it to the next level and become a professional athlete. There's wonderful things available to you if you are good enough to be a college athlete. And I'm going to say, I want every young black man who's that good to get all the opportunity that should come his way. All right? Because NIL money is good. I mean, even just not even getting paid, but just having a full ride scholarship is great. The other things on top just make it that much more sweeter. And if you can live a life and get generational wealth, if handled correctly, and you can do that in 5 to 10 years after you graduate, I want that for you. I'm never gonna be a hater. I'm not gonna be mad at you because you made it in football and I didn't. No. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to get it, enjoy it, change the direction of your future, and not just your future, certain people you're close to. children that you may have, I want you to put your people in the best position. I also understand there's an importance of voting, and people got to make sense of that too. So now I got to compare what would I probably get as a voter versus what I would probably get if I take a deal. And there's people asking me not to go to certain schools, which provides certain opportunities. And guess what, y'all? There is something. I am a person who does not mind making a sacrifice for the collective. Okay? Sometimes you should make a sacrifice for the collective. All right? And you know what? I had somebody backstage that was just going to bring you up. So come on. Well, maybe he got knocked off. I don't know. I was just about to bring him up. But come on. But sometimes you have to make a sacrifice for the collective. Okay? Now, shout out to MJD the second. He said, Roger, the Democrats under Biden 2021 through 2025 tried to change the redistricting cycle before Trump. See, I'm going to say this. Y'all, different people, and I'm letting y'all up a little early, okay? I'm letting y'all up a little early, about 10 minutes early today, so come on. Because here go my two of my main men are in the building. I'm going to say this, y'all. See, no matter how black men vote, the parties go out of their way to make sure they are not serving black men. So now I got to think, is it good for black men to sacrifice opportunities for parties that do not serve them? See, regardless of who is asking us to make the sacrifice, I'm talking about either party. When it becomes between Democrats and Republicans, I can't in good conscience tell a young black man with those type of opportunities in front of him to sacrifice for a party that cares nothing about him. That's my viewpoint on it. Why sacrifice for something for a group of people who care nothing about you in the first place? And if you're going to make a sacrifice, even if it's for the greater good, you still got to present the people the good. How do black men help themselves in any way by giving up all these opportunities in front of them? Now, I'm not against the black man sacrificing to get some good for the collective. But what he's supposed to get out the deal? In that collective, he should get something out the deal. And I'm going to say real talk, when you look at things from a political standpoint, I don't see anywhere in politics people are working for black men. I see a lot of lip service here and there. I'm going to take that. I don't even see a lot of lip service. Truth be told, I see some lip service here or there. I don't even hear the lip service the way they used to try to put it out there. We don't even get the lip service no more. It's a mention here or there. And if all I get is a mention here or there, and I got a chance to go set my life up, set up opportunities for my children in the future, set up businesses that I can own and my family can own for generations upon generations, I don't know if I need to give all that up for the collective, where the collective can't even tell me what I'm going to get out the deal. I am not saying it's wrong to sacrifice as a young person, but you should believe in your sacrifice, and you should have an understanding that that sacrifice is going to do something great for you. Okay? You got to be included in the spoils of whatever the sacrifice gets you. You got to be included in it. And who can tell black men how they're going to be included in whatever sacrifice they have to give? Because asking somebody to give up their future, it's kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. But I'm gonna slow down right here because I let these other guests come up a little early. But I'm kind of curious to where they're gonna go with this. So let's see what they do. So I'm gonna give the floor to Charcoal Trump. you have the floor, my brother. Am I saying that right? Charcoal Trump.
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Peace to the chat. Peace to the panel. Peace to everybody who's going to subscribe to your channel. Um, as Black Americans in America, we are 14%. They know. We always talk about how many Black women there are than Black men, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna cut 14% into in half, that's seven. But they say it's 20 million more women than men. So I'll take us down to 4%. Nobody ever messes with us as Black people. We let these people talk about how Black men are the white man of America. Who came to our defense other than the Roger Report? Yeah, exactly. Um, the last administration just brought in so many immigrants that your vote don't count. Period. Anyway, the reason why they're going crazy about this redistricting is because they put all them goddamn immigrants in the hood. Yo, this is a way to swindle Black men out of gaining power all over again. These, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I forgot what year it was, but they just put law in where college students can get money off of their likeness. So that young Black boy who gets taken out of high school and gets an ill crazy scholarship in college and does crazy good, he can literally get money off while he's in college. While he's in college, and they are telling him not to do something. Are they telling the WNBA players not to do something? Are they talking to the college, the black females playing basketball and all them college sports? No, they never mess with us until they literally need us, and they don't need us. They got like 30 million goddamn immigrants in here that they're fighting the vote, talking about. I forgot the new law they going talking about the new Jim Crow, where you don't Black people can't get ID, so it's racist to ask people for ID to vote. What the fuck? The average African American knows don't go outside with no goddamn ID. Not even the average. The bottom tier African American knows don't go outside with no ID unless you're about to get dirty. This is and I tell African Americans, do what you want. Because I'm tired of talking to dumb people, B. If you believe this nonsense these niggas is trying to promote to these young boys who God gave a talent to, you're bugging. Some of these boys could become richer than they will ever be. A lot of them might not even 75% ain't making it to the NBA, ain't making it to the NFL. But they could be superstars in college and make money. And you want them niggas not to go to college, to a certain college that's going to give them an opportunity, right? So, for the reasons of helping the Democratic Party gain, man, yo, Roger, when I heard about this thing, I was pissed off. And now I'm double pissed off that you picked the damn show because we about to tear their behinds apart. Pause. With no drawers.
Big balls.
Big balls.
Okay. Appreciate you chiming in, brother. Appreciate you chiming in. All right. Inspired truth. You got it, my brother.
First and foremost, I hope everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat is having a wonderful day going on into this weekend. Oh, it's a cloudy, rainy day here, but hopefully it slacks up sometime soon. Um, there's a lot like this. Originally, the genesis of this is that you had a court case out of Louisiana. Like y'all know, like if you know me, you know it. That's my home state. Like Louisiana seems like the place where justice goes to die. Like every single thing down the line because it was like several years before we could finally get some kind of representation that was commensurate to our population. We finally get it, and then it goes all the way up to the Supreme Courts and gets erased, deleted, and then they end up going and trying to do some stuff even worse over there in Tennessee. It's just like kind of like a a spread of a disease, and people will try to frame it as, well, this isn't really about race, this is really just about politics and blah blah blah. But the end result is what the end result is. It's less representation for us. And people will say things like, well, you still have the right to vote, you can still vote. It's like, yeah, but it's a ceremonial thing now. Now it's going to be like a symbolic thing. It's just handing you a game controller and you're pretending like you're a player in the game when really you're not even in the game like that for real. And this whole idea about athletes being able to move some things, that's actually true. There is something to it, but there's a lot of nuance to that. Like if we're talking about like the top tier, the most elite of the elite, yeah, they can get things done, and they do get things done. Like I've seen them get things done, like over here, like in Louisiana, in certain universities that I'll leave unnamed. Like the student union, the Black student union, would say what their demands were and will fall on deaf ears all the time. We can't hear you. We don't care. We can't hear you. And then when you get the Black student athletes involved, oh, now you can hear. Amazing how that works. You had like the Black student union that like, I mean, like where they're like with different like facilities or whatever. Like, okay, so you would pay for it. Like Black students would pay for it, but it's open to everybody the same way they do with everything in America. Like anything that's supposed to be for us is community property. Stuff for other people is for other people. And it stays like that. Like it's a reoccurring theme across federal, state, any type of government, any organization in America. And at some point, we got to actually kind of get power and yield power and willpower. But to try to put this on the backs of young Black men, because that's who you were really talking about, who really moves things, who really moves the money and athletes, like the female sports are not as profitable as the male sports. So you're talking about putting all of this on the backs of young Black men, and it's reprehensible that they would have to resort to doing that when these politicians have been in office for a long time. They've had access to power for a long time, and they should have done something a long, long time ago. And it's just a lot. It's just frustrating, and it's a lot. And there's like people that are on the high tier that in the athlete space that actually can move things. I think that if you put nuance, then you can, make it make sense.
Okay, yeah, brother, just at 2 minutes, brother, at 2 minutes. That's all. That's all. Okay, we got plenty of time for more
I
to show
thought
to get a
Shark
lot
went
of stuff
more.
in. Okay, we got plenty of time. But we got my main man, Chef Mike, done popped up. So I'm finna get a mic right to Chef Mike. Uh appreciate your service, brother. Appreciate your service. You can go right ahead and chime in, and then we'll double back around to these other folks. And we got Champ up here as well. So shout out to Champ for coming. So oh, and we got Mr. Ruffin coming too. So it's gonna be a fantastic show, y'all. It's gonna be a fantastic show. So oh, real quick, shout out to Elder Blood. He says Black men fight and die before taking credit and leave Black men behind. Black men fight and die. Oh, no,
Black
no, he meant Black females take credit
black
and
female.
leave Black men behind.
Right.
That's what he's saying. Black females take credit and leave Black men behind. And I am going to say, y'all, there's a difference between quote unquote Black athletes, which could mean some of everybody who happens to be Black. But the real deal is what the Black men are going to do who happen to be the athletes. But let me go ahead and give it to Chef Mike, and then we'll actually go to Mr. Ruffin, and then we'll get the other gentleman in. All right, Chef Mike, you got the floor, my brother.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to find yourself. Can you hear me all right, Roger?
Yes, sir.
All of your shit. And see, that's why I'm so glad I got up here before Great Black Reset. So I can go ahead and tell him, you know what, I do have a 2 minute uninterrupted opening statement. So Roger, after you give Mr. Ruffin his privilege, I'm going to suggest that you just go to the champ and let whoever this Negro is today just wait his turn. So anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to find yourself on this thoughtful Thursday. I jumped up to ask one quick question and to kind of throw this out there for thought. The same people that are asking these athletes to forego their future at, prominent universities. The same Congressional Black Caucus, the same NAACP. I would like someone to name me 5 initiatives that either of these groups have done for the same population that they're asking a sacrifice from. One. Then I'd like you to tell me what you expect these athletes to do if said athletes do follow this line and choose another university. A lot of folks in the news saying, they need to go to HBCUs, all of these things here. And they're focusing on the bigger schools, but you have, if one of these athletes get hurt at one of these larger universities, they have world class medical attention at their fingertips to rehabilitate themselves and to continue their path to success and to wealth. You do not have the same thing in other universities in other states. It's not the same. I want to really know what infrastructure the NAACP, the Congressional Black Caucus has in place for these student athletes if they do choose to go down this path. I do not recommend them doing that because neither the NAACP nor the CBC have anything to offer them as an alternative. And I'll land my plane right there.
I want to say, an interesting comment, brother. Interesting. Not that I ain't with you. Shout out to Elder Blood. Thank you very much for your super chat, Elder Blood. He said, Roger, this voting civil rights resurgence, FTB. What we mean by FTB? For the blacks, I guess. Voting resurgence for the black. Black men been fighting this fight in vain all their lives just for black women to make further gains with the white man. Now, I'm gonna say, yes, I can agree with that because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you got to look at what you're getting out the deal, and that's why I'm saying that for the black man who's willing to make this sacrifice, I'm gonna say, ask yourself, brother, is it actually worth it? This your future. Okay. Again, if you do nothing but get out of college without paying a dime, you got a victory already. And if you're not one of the people blessed enough to make it into the NFL or to make it in the NBA, you're gonna have to live a quote unquote regular life. Are you willing to take that opportunity from yourself if you got a shot of making it to either one of those leagues so you can be regular? For what? I'm not saying it's unworthy, or I'm not saying regular people ain't worthy, but if you can be extraordinary, why choose regular if ain't nobody got nothing for you for choosing to be regular? That's all I'm saying, man. You got to have something for me. I don't see what they looking out for black men from a political standpoint. I don't see it. So I cannot, in good conscience, tell a young black man to sacrifice anything for any party. I can't see that right now. Now, maybe some of y'all can, but I definitely can't see it. And shout out to Bucky. Thank you very much for your super chat, my brother. He said, appreciate the message, Roger. Keep cooking. Hey, I'm going to do my best, brother. I'm going to do my best. But I'm going to take a quick pause so we can get Mr. Ruffin in here and these other gentlemen. Go ahead, Mr. Ruffin.
I'll salute to you, Roger. Black power to the panel. Black power to the chat. Let me get these coons straight real quick. First of all, black athletes shouldn't be in there in the first place. We've been told y'all need to be at HBCUs first or in the Northeast, right? Now, I don't really care about this voting issue because voting don't work, right? Voting only works because it gives black women welfare and all the other benefits that black men don't get. But this is bigger than this. This is bigger than voting. What this is about a collective power. Division I athletes, like first of all, we're talking about Ole Miss. We're talking about Division I. So you're like that. if you gotta offer at Ole Miss, you gotta offer from Penn State, you gotta offer from Stanford out in the West Coast, right? In the Northeast and in the West Coast, they have the best state of the art healthcare situation. And over in DC, you got John Hopkins, #1 medical school in the country, right? Take your yellow bus ass down there and get fixed if you sprain the ankle or something. But see, this is the problem, right? We gotta get together because the white man said we don't want you to be a part of our club no more. Now we gotta protest. What happened about protesting and boycotting to build our own up? And see, that's the problem right there.
Amen, brother. That brother cooking right now. Keep on cooking.
So that's the problem. The problem ain't boycott to get a vote. You need to boycott to get your money up. Boycott to build up our schools so we have black boys and girls that can graduate with people that are around them and have world-class universities. $5 million TV contracts. You are a Division I athlete. You are a Division I athlete. If Ole Miss gave you if Ole Miss wants to give you a scholarship, that means you got a scholarship to multiple other places. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. You gonna tell me if they didn't play for Howard or Morehouse, they're not going to the NBA? Get out of here. And that's all I gotta say.
Interesting. I'm somewhat shocked and don't even know how to process
Wait,
where that came
Well
from. I mean,
well said.
Well
Roger, you
said.
the last one to go?
no. We got a few other people that done join. You're not worthy. It's been waiting patiently, but then Chef Mike did say something about him. So let's go with Champ.
You're not worthy.
What-
God damn.
Good morning, happy Thursday to this panel,
Peace, champ.
and I'm really glad you put this subject right here, Roger. Because let me just say this: I used to be a member of the NAACP, but right now they can kiss my behind right now. Let me tell you something. You're calling for a boycott, okay? But you're not demanding justice for this brother who a couple weeks ago got shot by a white supremacist individual who was going around there calling us chimps and everything else and everything. I mean, now you're upset what's going on with the voting rights situation, and you're telling black male athletes that they should boycott and everything else and forfeit millions of dollars that could be used to help them and to help build their own communities if they want to do that or become entrepreneurs. But now you're upset because you're not part of the club anymore and everything else. Well, fine. Well, that's just tough. That was going to happen and everything else. But there are other issues that need to be that needs to be talked about. You know, you got a hate crime bill going on for different ethnic and racial groups and everything else, except for us for black folks and everything else. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, this guy with a white supremacist screamer shot a black man and everything else in front of the courthouse. He is being charged, but where's the hate crime charges? Why aren't you guys demanding that guy gets charged with the hate crime and everything else? No, it's what you're doing right now is that you're wasting all the civil rights gains that you guys had and everything else, and you're doing it for your own self-interest and not for the benefit and not for the health interest of other black folks, particularly black men and everything else. Where's our hate crime bill? Okay, where's that? What about the fact that that there are still schools out there being closed down in the inner cities and everything else? Why don't you guys address that and everything else instead of just talking about the voting situation? And sure, we're disappointed about that, but hey, we protest. We didn't vote, a couple years ago because none of y'all from especially from the Democratic Party don't do a damn thing except pander to other groups and everything else and forgetting about Black Americans, especially Black men and everything else. This is somewhat your payback and everything else, and now you're telling Black men not to go ahead and accept the scholarship at University of Missouri and everything else, accepting that NIL money where we could use some of that NIL money to go ahead and use that to benefit ourselves and everything else. Some of them brothers are not just there just to spend their money. Many of them are there just to start their own little entrepreneurship and everything else. I mean, this is the really stupid thing that that these Congressional Black Caucus, the Civil Rights Organization, especially in the NAACP. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm not going to join the NAACP right now, the way how it's going, because they're not doing anything at all. So I'm just gonna land my plane right here. Roger.
Okay. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. All right, Truth Teller, you got the mic, and then we got one more. Maybe one of our greatest. But Truth Teller, you got the mic.
Roger, I'm ready to go on for about 3.5 minutes if I can hear that whisper telling me to get off. I do it on purpose just to hear the whisper.
What if you hear no suit?
I'm sorry. I'll take it back. So I'm gonna go a different avenue here.
Time this nigga out for 5 minutes.
I would just go a little different direction here. I'm gonna ask for a few things from the Democratic Party because I'm a feminist and I believe in equality. So once upon a time, I do remember some ladies saying they were gonna boycott sex in order to get what they wanted at the time, which was some votes from some specific groups of gentlemen. Where's that boycott? Can y'all go ahead and implement that? Also, for our resident bedwenches, we got, somebody who ran for president and who was vice president. We also got somebody sitting on the Supreme Court. Why y'all ain't asking y'all husbands to sacrifice a little something for the Black vote? That would be helpful. You can go ahead and put that into play. Oh, how about the Congressional Black Caucus? I ain't seen y'all put on no dashikis and sit nowhere yet. I haven't seen it. When y'all gonna get protesting publicly and show us how it's done before you ask us to do it? And last but not least, I'd like to ask, what exactly are you guys offering as a benefit for these young men to do this? Can you at least tell us that? And then we can talk about how we approach this. Thank you.
You Truth Teller. Wasn't they just telling us that we misogynistic for not voting?
Yeah.
What the F is going on?
Come on now.
Roger,
Come on now. Sometimes the feminism, the emotional aspect of the feminism kick in and they forget. But it's all right. They back now. And they now realize that men do have the power and they are the gift that keeps on giving. So now they need men to do something. So let's see how much they're going to pay for this work.
And I remember one of the great leaders called Chef Mike said, silence is power.
Yep.
Sometimes shutting the F up is powerful.
Very true.
This is what Black men need to do right now with this whole situation. Shut the F up and get your goddamn money.
Exactly.
Now they want to keep us from getting education.
All right, y'all. I guess we're going to give a mic to the most powerful man on the stage at the moment. The guy who ain't said nothing. You're not worthy. You have the mic, my brother. You have the mic. You're on mute if you don't know it, brother.
All right, we finally get to the nitty gritty over here.
Wait, this is the most powerful person on the
Well, I mean, I'm saying he was real silent. He was real silent.
I ain't interrupt none of y'all. Like Charles said, use your power.
That is
use your power. Use your power.
You're right. I apologize. You did interrupt me, sir.
So
yeah, you sure did. So there, for I'm gonna say right now, y'all, I was hoping for a hot second that he was boycotting the show. That's what I was hoping for, but I guess that ain't what's going on. But go ahead,
See,
my brother. Go ahead.
here we go on this terrific Thursday. Chef Mike lingering up here waiting to pull the trigger on the brother. You see what's going on? We talking about a black voter issue, and the first thing Chef Mike does is use his power to silence a man in his freedom of speech. This is awful. This is an awful start. It's awful. I'm being picked on. But no, when it comes to this issue, it's good and bad. Mr. Ruffin said very eloquently, guys at this level, they can choose to go anywhere. So it's not like if they choose not to go to some of these southern states where they're doing this redistricting, um, that they can't choose to go somewhere else. So I think it is a good exercise for the youth to understand that they do have power. I think it's a good thing that we are now being recognized as black men, even as young black men, that we do have power, regardless of what they tried to say when certain people were running for office a couple of years ago. Now, having said that, there was something very interesting in one of the clips. They were saying black people as a whole, if they boycott anything, it'll shut down any industry in the country, and we do need to recognize that again. Yes, the NAACP, they're two-headed snakes in some instances, and they do what's best for themselves as a collective. But this is an opportunity for us to exercise our power as a people, and we do need to get back to as black men, exercising our voting rights and exercising our power as just our how we affect the market, man. I don't think we turn away from this opportunity and cut our nose off to spite our face, man. This is an opportunity to let the country know that we do have power, we do know how to exercise it, and I just think we need to take on this opportunity. I don't think it's going to hurt these young men if they do decide to answer this call because they're talented enough to go anywhere. But I'll let my plane there.
Can I jump in here real quick, Roger? Please, sir. After you read that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to there. I said it. Appreciate you, my brother. He says right thinking black men are selfish. Okay, support for HBCUs strengthen the current black community culture. Let it burn. Black male athletes are future business owners. This will continue to shift black culture. Hashtag anti-gynocracy. And I'm going to quickly say, I don't want people giving up opportunity because they can own businesses in the future. That's literally why I want them to get paid. But go ahead, Chef Mike.
All right.
Go ahead, Chef.
So now, can anyone name me one of the states that is in question here? Just throw out any one of the states.
I think Texas.
Texas. All right. So in Texas, you have the University of Texas, and you do have black athletes that attend the University of Texas, not just basketball, football, but track and field, definitely a ton of other sports. All right. The University of Texas does not have the same political power as the Dallas Cowboys, but I do not hear the Congressional Black Caucus nor the NAACP talking to professional athletes on these professional teams. You got Major League Baseball, but they're not talking to Major League athletes. They're talking to kids, talking to the children. No, y'all already made y'all money. Get out of here. Do not stand in the way of these athletes getting theirs. Not because you failed to do your job. It is the job of the Congressional Black Caucus, the job of the Congressional Black Caucus to do their job to stop these things. Why you want these young folks to pay for your mishaps? I'm sorry. Y'all go suck your finger somewhere. But leave these young athletes alone and let them do their thing, because you're not targeting the majors. You're not targeting the NBA. You're not targeting the NFL. Those black athletes there. You're not targeting the Olympic team that practice and train in some of these states. You're not doing that. So miss me with this cherry picking bullshit.
Amen.
No, the other question is, I push back. Hold on. So the situation is this, right? Again, a D1 athlete, there's more D1 athletes than there are professional athletes. Number two, a D1 athlete doesn't have $100 million contract with guaranteed 20 million. It is much easier for them, and it's a low pressure cost for them to simply go to, instead of going to Ole Miss, to go to play at Stanford, or go to play at Penn State, or go to play go play with the Florida Gators, or things like that, Because remember, again, or go play with Prime and over in Colorado with Coach Prime. You have options there because you're still going to make your NIL money wherever you go, or go to Arizona State. There's a lot of places you can go as a D1 athlete. A
Can I
D1
go
athlete,
after you? Let me get after you,
the
Hot Sauce.
athlete doesn't have a $100 million contract to think about with kids and things like that. And number two, this is everybody's problem. This is
Yes.
everybody's problem. So at the end of and on top of that, again, black athletes have no business. Division 1 athletes have no business playing somewhere that is not at an HSBCU, especially Morehouse and Howard. They have absolutely no business there because you're going to go to the NBA, you're going to go to the NFL. If Kobe, Sean Kemp, Kevin Garnett can make it out of high school, then you absolutely can go to Howard and Morehouse and get into the NBA and the NFL. And I'll leave it there. This is everybody's problem.
Now, I agree with you that this is everybody's problem. Definitely, I could definitely agree with you. But the average D1, the average D1 athlete is not making it pro. He's not making it pro.
That's right.
So would you tell a nigga that got scholarships to these big old schools to go to NYU because he got a scholarship to
Yes.
NYU?
Yes.
No.
Stern is the number one business program in the country. Well, not number one. Top five business program in the country.
A lot of these D1 athletes don't got that kind of even knowledge to even go get through all of that. So what I'm saying is, bro, don't block them from getting as much as they can before they can't get anymore. And at the end of the day, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they wasn't telling niggas don't go to these schools, go to a black school. All of a sudden, now is do this.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
All of a sudden, now is do this. Yo, they only want to throw us under the bus when they need us.
Can I go next?
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna rebut.
Wait, no, hold on.
I want to reply, and then I'll be quick. I'll reply after.
David Ruffin, I ain't interrupt you. Don't.
No, I'm not interrupting. I just said I will reply after you.
All right. And so remember when Ice Cube made that his league was the NAACP telling everybody go play for Ice Cube? No.
The big
and
three,
I think somebody said something to the effect. I think it was the great Chef Mike said something to the effect of, why y'all not talking to the NFL, NBA, WNBA, all these players? What the hell? I don't know if y'all seen that whole scandal about the SPLC. Them niggas ain't no different from the NAACP. None of these people are for black people. We have already been told we are not part of the community, so we got to start thinking like our own community. Them niggas is just playing football. Let them go play their sports, get that little bit of money as much as they can, get their little bit of fame as much as they can, and liaison that into whatever they can.
Exactly. I agree.
Hold on. Wait. I told him I would reply. So first of all, I do agree with you. We shouldn't be listening to no high yellow nigga talking about voting rights. That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that we should be having our own in the first place. Because I agree with you. It ain't about voting rights. We should be having our own, and we go play there so we can build up our own. But as a person who expertise is in education and higher learning, you can like with the South, quite honestly, as far as education, unless you're going to the NFL or NBA, when it comes to education, the South cannot offer what the West Coast can offer and the Northeast can offer. Actually,
Sorry, that's not true. That's
that is
not
very
true at
true.
all.
That is
That
very
is
quite
not
true.
true at
that
all.
is
And
very
here's
true.
another
No,
That
pushback
it's
is
not
to
that
your
is.
true.
point. You
Hold on,
want
hold on.
folks
I didn't
to
interrupt
go
Hey,
to
anybody. I
fellas,
did not interrupt
he
anybody.
didn't interrupt.
I didn't interrupt anybody. It is very true. The South cannot offer academic scholarships or internships. What the West Coast, what California can do, and what the Northeast can do, and then like Miami and Florida as well. Especially when it comes to the traditional, when it comes to tech, when it comes to business law, when it comes to business law and tech, it cannot offer what the West definitely cannot offer what California can offer. And then when it comes to business and law, it cannot offer what the East Coast can offer in education and in internships. And I'll leave it there.
all right. Can I jump in here now real quick just to give some pushback?
Yeah, go ahead. And then I want to get Truth Teller in there because he was trying to say something too. Go ahead.
The same historically black colleges and universities that you want folks to go to, these black athletes to go to, they still reside in most of the states that are in question. One, as far as the tech goes, most folks from California are moving to Texas, which is one of the states in question here. Apple is in Texas, Google is in Texas, Hewlett Packard is in Texas. All of your big tech is moving to Texas because the cost of living is cheaper in Texas. Business, okay, let's see. Atlanta is the largest city in the South and is the business hub. Everything centers around Atlanta. Everything centers around New Orleans because it is a port. Don't play the South like we're some country bumpkins. That is classic stereotypical. The South has everything to offer anyone, on par with anyone else in the country, if not more, because you have better opportunities in the South.
Okay. And now let me throw this.
The whole truth of it all.
Okay.
So
I'll
please
let you.
don't play the South like that. And here's one more, and I'm gonna land right here. The SEC brings more eyes to the NCAA, to college sports, than any other conference.
I agree with that.
Go look at the numbers.
Yep, that's fact. Hey Roger,
so why hold them from going to the SEC? That's my point. Like, why hold them from going to it?
I did say I wanted Truth Teller to get in, and I hear you trying to get in, Champ. So let's let Truth Teller say what he want to say, and then Champ get in. And
I'll go after Champ.
Okay, and real quick, y'all, in case someone does not know, the targeted states for this out of bounds initiative is Alabama, Florida, Georgia, which includes Atlanta, that was just being referred to, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. So those are the target areas, just so y'all know. And
all the places that count.
Missouri's also targeted too, Roger.
Well, I'm just putting up what the internet says is on this list. So I'm not saying Missouri isn't targeted. It definitely could be, but this is the 8 that showed up so far. So, but things change, okay? But this is what they got, and I'm gonna say it again: Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. So these are some very enriched areas because of athletes. Let's just keep that real. Okay. And real quick, shout out to Inspired to Broadcast. He said, and thank you very much for the super chat, my brother. He says marginalized minorities don't have the luxury of acting solely as individuals. This is a convo for only elite athletes, though. Okay. Now I do think there is a point in what he's saying. Also, shout out to No Placeholder. He says Texas got Elon to move Tesla. I agree with Chef Mike. Okay, y'all. Some stuff is what it is, and I'm just gonna say real quick again. Why burden the young man who's just getting started in the world with this stuff. And they're not really even started in the world yet. They're still in that college bubble. That's unlike real life in most areas. Okay, it's not like a real life someone's gonna live. Once you leave college, then you kind of get into your real life. So why put all this pressure on these guys, especially from a political party? But go ahead, True Teller.
Well, I was actually going to support Chef and what he was saying in regards to all these places that they're talking about are major contributors to our country's economy.
Yes.
Not to mention the world. So, I mean, just them 6-7 states right there competing with New York and California combined as far as financial input to the nation's economy. So let's not go there. What I do want everybody to think about is if all these guys boycott, let's just say all black students boycott and they go to different schools, not in these places. But these places are where the jobs are being opened up at. Is it okay for them to go to these states after they graduate? Play for the teams after they graduate? Or are we saying they can't go ever? Because if they can't go ever, that would make sense. But that is totally not comprehensible and in reality. If you're telling them to sacrifice their college lives to it, but yeah, you can go there after college, then what's the point? What is there to be gained to do this? To have these like what is there to be gained? These elected officials still have to run and convince people to vote for them. They haven't been doing a good job.
Thank you.
Which is why they've been losing. So why would anybody sacrifice for people who don't do good jobs at what they're supposed to do? And not only that, I don't hear none of them talking about sacrificing anything from them. I didn't hear them calling out the illegal immigrants. Hey, can some of you illegal immigrants help us protest about this? They didn't say nothing about them folk, but they've been, for the last 5 years, man, they've been putting their foot in our butts for them. So where the illegal immigrants at? You know, what are those programs and stuff to help in these? They can help in all of these states. Where they at? Where the chicks at? You know, the chicks that wanted to have the ability to get rid of their babies whenever they want. Where they at? How come they not saying, hey, we're gonna boycott that, doing that until we get this right? Where's all the people they have been supporting this whole time? And why are they only calling on black boys, young black men to do this? Where's everybody else?
Young black men who they have not been supporting, period.
Yeah.
So this is what off the champ. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, well, they're doing this because the reason why they're targeting in for black men is because basically we're the reason why Kamala Harris didn't get elected and everything else, and they're right now trying to throw all their problems on black.
Quick correction. That's what they're saying. That's not actually true.
That's
but
not
there
true.
are people who are saying
that's what they're saying.
Go ahead.
And they're trying to shame us right now in this situation. That's part of their strategy and everything else. They've always done this type of stuff, the black men, for many, many years and everything else. And right now, they realize, oh my God, some of you black men were right and everything. We should have listened to you and everything else. We're just asking you right now to just go ahead and just sacrifice all the financial gains, that you're going to get from some of these SEC schools and everything else. Just for once, just do this for once for your ancestors. And, for one, you got to just say no. Okay, our ancestors, we love our ancestors. They sacrificed this country. They built this country. They got their behinds whooped, but we fought back and everything else. Now is the time for us to take over right now. Use that money and use it to build our communities and do for self and everything else. And that's what with the Nation of Islam, that's been saying that for years and everything else. And one last thing I want to say this to Chef Mike. The city I think that people need to watch in the South that is really emerging is Nashville. Nashville is suddenly starting to catch up to Atlanta and everything else. In the next couple of years, they're going to have a Major League Baseball team, and I don't know. The NBA is trying to push the Grizzlies to move to Nashville and everything else. So that city could end up surpassing Atlanta in the next 10, 15 years.
Now, let me just make a clarification. There were players who said they wanted the Grizzlies to move to Nashville. I've heard nothing from the NBA trying to encourage them to go there.
I meant to say the players. Sorry about that. The players.
Look,
But I know Major League Baseball is trying to put a team there.
So let me say this real quick. So I hate to bust the bubble of the South. You're not touching any program from the West. USC, Caltech, USC, Caltech, UCLA, Pomona, or Carnegie Mellon in the Carnegie Mellon in the Northeast, Stern, Penn Engineering, and all the Ivy Leagues, and even the companies that you have in the South. The first guys that are going to get it are the guys from the top 30 universities, which is in California and in the Northeast. They're going to get it first, and then the local kids are going to get it next. Second point, with the eyes in the SEC, whatever, is only because that's where the majority of black best players play. Wherever the majority of best black players are going to play, the TV rights are going to follow. Point blank period. Point blank period. Now, should they be boycotting over voting rights? Absolutely not. Asians have proved that you don't need to vote to be successful and get power in this country. They prove that time and time again. But what it does show is that use this momentum to start building our own for the sake of just having your own. And that's why you go to Morehouse in Howard. And if you can't get there, then you go to the Colorados with Primat, or you go to the West out of California, or Penn State, Villanova, or Villanova or Syracuse, things like that up in the Northeast. Right? That's why you do this. Because at the end of the day, as far as education goes, man, you can get better education elsewhere. Most universities in the South don't even crack top 40. And then on top of that, as a D1 player, you have gotten other offers at other places. So even if you don't want to do the black thing, you can do another school. It costs you nothing, and that's why you're talking to the athletes, because it doesn't cost them anything. Because quite frankly, if I'm playing in the South on a $50 million contract, I'm telling y'all niggas to kiss my ass. Point blank period. But if I'm a college kid, yeah, okay. Right? Because the friction of losing stuff is not that great. Especially if I'm that dude. And I'll pass the mic on that.
I want
real quick.
Thank you, Chef.
In my opinion, this is the equivalent of single moms putting a light bill in a 5-year-old baby's name.
There we go.
Yes.
So you only say that because, number one, no offense, your understanding of academics is not in the right spot. Because again, you're acting like the only place where you're going to have an opportunity is in the South, which is highly incorrect.
No, y'all both literally saying the same thing. He's just giving a more poignant example of that people can.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm definitely not. Because what I'm saying to you, that opportunity is, if for again, Division I athlete. Listen to what I'm saying. A Division I athlete has the opportunity everywhere. And then if we're talking about the quality of education is going to be better in other places anyway.
Yeah, but his statement by saying this is like putting the light bill in the 5-year-old's name is not going against what you're saying. He's basically saying this is my fault. True, tell him.
It does. And I was going to say it does, to clarify. So what's in conflict is, I'm sorry, I don't know his name today, but he's basically saying their value is high. They can go anywhere else to be successful. Go somewhere else where it can contribute to the plan. right? I ain't gonna say what the plan is, but we know what the plan is. But
Well, no.
Chef
What I'm
is
saying. Hold on.
saying Chef is saying that we're
Wait a second. I am not saying do this because of voter rights. I said to hell with that.
I'm not
Nobody's
saying
gonna
that's not the plan I'm talking about.
okay, I just want to clarify that.
Not that,
Nobody's
not
gonna
their
tell you.
plan. I mean the plan you were describing earlier. That plan to benefit, a certain group. Right?
Yeah. We should be having our own. Yeah, we should be having our own. Yeah.
Right. But Chef is referencing, why are we asking these young people to sacrifice to make this decision when all these old folks who are rich and wealthy and experienced are here and they're not planning to sacrifice nothing.
Well,
They'd rather put the sacrifice in their baby name so they don't have no risk of losing nothing.
But the point is, that's my point. There's low friction. There is no risk.
Well, it is a risk.
Okay,
You're asking them to redirect their future, right? If they have plans already, why would they want to change their plans for people who didn't want to sacrifice themselves?
Right now, let me get this in, and I
want to
got
respond.
GBR. I got you, GBR. Let's remind ourselves that NIL deals are not the same for each player. Maybe y'all don't remember, but I remember I was we was doing a story about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and all that type of stuff, and I was looking up what type of money they was making. So the NIL deals are not the same. Everybody ain't getting the same money. So if you find a good place for you to get your money up, okay, because you got a deal at this particular school. I mean, number one, you get out of college with your degree, pay for it. That's a win. Now you're talking about maybe some millions of dollars on top of it. That's another win. Now you go out into the job market with a degree, because again, most players aren't going pro anyway. So now I got a degree.
Right.
I'm certified to do something. Plus I got some millions of dollars. I can actually open up my own business. I have the capital now. I don't even got to go begging people so I can get my personal thing started. You want me to take that opportunity and say, I'm going to put that to the side and see what somebody else might give me later. Now, I'm just being realistic. As a person in that situation, and a lot of these people ain't coming from money, I don't know if I'd be too quick to do all that, especially over some voting rights that the people who are making moves in politics ain't even looking at me anyway. I think it's better for me to just take the money that I got, establish what I can for myself, and build myself up, because the people in political power aren't trying to do that for me. So why take a risk for a group of people that ain't looking out for me? I don't understand that. Now, I'm going to say everybody on this panel may be far more sophisticated than me in all this stuff. But at the end of the day, I just don't see the purpose in taking a risk for people who ain't trying to do anything politically for me, when all my power is going to come from the money I'm able to obtain.
Thank you.
But GBR, I want you to get in there and say what you need to say, my brother.
Okay, so the questions that are being asked and the question that Mike asked was a fair question, but we're not being intellectually honest. I agree with Mr. Ruffin. What the piece that you guys are missing is the talent. If the guy is talented, he's talented everywhere, and everywhere wants his talent. So we're talking about these kids as if they're sacrificing something, as if the only offer they got is whatever particular school. Let's just say Texas is only. If Texas is offering you, Michigan is offering you, Ohio State is offering you, Penn State, everybody's offering you. So this is not a zero-sum game. We're not talking to athletes that don't have multiple offers. All of the athletes that they're asking to do this have multiple offers. So there is no friction for them to go somewhere else. There is none. There is no risk, none whatsoever.
GBO,
Hold on. There is no risk, bro.
Don't take their best option, though. You're literally telling them don't take your best option.
No. You're not being intellectually honest. That doesn't mean it's their best option just because they want to go to Ole Miss because it's their favorite school. That doesn't mean that. Some of these guys do take less money to go to a school that they think is better for them, for better for certain situations, or to be closer to home and all this other kinds of stuff. They do that. They do that stuff, bro. We're acting as if, oh, if they go over here, they're just going to be dead broke. That is not intellectually honest, man.
Bro.
We're not being honest.
Can I just
We're victimizing them. That's not what's happening at all.
And I
And
just want to.
secondly, my second,
Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to make this second point real quick, and I'll be done. Secondly, this is happening because all kinds of other stuff happened, and we didn't rise up, bro. They were on islands doing all kinds of things, all kinds of crazy things. Nobody rose up against it, bro. When they put Kamala Harris in without doing the DNC, and nobody rose up, these people are going to continue to push and push and push and push until they get what they want the way that they want it because we do not rise up to stop them. I said a long time ago when they did the DEI thing, they trying to put Miss Ann back in the kitchen. They're trying to get these white women out of the job market and back in the kitchen. And they're going to use us as the test subjects to do it.
Okay, now I'm gonna have to jump in, and I'm gonna say first of all, my apologies to Bron because I had him waiting too long. My bad about that, brother. My bad.
It's all
But
good. It's all good. I've learned from Mr. Ruffin how to be patient. So,
well, I'm gonna say first, shout out to Bron because Bron then came through on the Cash App side and said keep doing the Lord's work and drop 50 on it. So shout out to Bron. Shout out to Bron. So he's obviously my favorite panelist for the day. Okay. And shout out to there. I said it. He said, "Powers that be who greenlit this initiative seek to hurt these brothers' chances. They're fearful of rich black men, and they understand the NBA/NFL creates many." Now, and I'm also say, well, I'm gonna say, I do believe there's something into this because why are you asking these guys to sabotage anything? But I do believe GBR has a point because, well, as his name is today, you're not worthy has a point because if you're the top athletes, yes, you do have other school offers. So my thing is, I don't know how the offers work with the NIL money. I'm gonna say, take what makes sense if you want to help, but you have to actually want to help, meaning you got to see where political parties are doing something for you. I don't think any black man should consider this unless they can look at a political party and say, the party asking me to do this stuff, I see where you're helping me. If you cannot see that, I don't think this is your business. I'm not saying it's wrong to try to help black people as a whole, or because I can't be against trying to make sure people can get fair voting in. Can't be against that. But if the people who say that that's what they want, you need to convince me you're looking out for me in the first place. And if you can't show me where you're looking out for me, I just don't think it's my business. And that's just real talk. Because if voting is important for you, it should be important all the time when you're in politics, not just some of the time. But let me let Bron get the floor, and then we'll move on from there. Bron, you got it.
Oh, that sound great. That's the best he sounded since he got here.
I just want to say, Bronny got a $5 million NIL deal from USC, which is the West.
Bron, you gonna get in there and let these people keep talking?
Come on, bro.
Can you hear me?
He said
Can you hear me? There you go. Can you hear me? All right. I cut out there for a second. But man, I don't know if anybody has said this yet, but I don't think any 18-year-old should be involved in politics in any shape, form, or fashion. It's way too young. They barely pay taxes at that age, right? So I don't think that this is a problem for college athletes to be involving themselves in any shape, form, or fashion. You're asking these kids who have probably been, working at this sport since they were children, who finally were able to pave out an avenue for themselves and get out of the hood, to essentially sacrifice all
His mic messing up. But this is a whistle that they're blowing to black women to tell them to tell their kid to go to a certain school.
They're hard worker. I think HBCU athletes is between like $500 to $5,000
Wait, Brock, you
compared
cut.
to hundreds of thousands
Wait,
top
Brock, you
tier.
cut out for like 5 seconds, so run it back a little bit for us.
All right, I said the average NIL deal for HBCU athletes is between $500 and $5,000, compared to SEC schools, which are hundreds of thousands of dollars up to millions for top tier athletes. So literally, that's the math. That's what you're asking 18-year-old kids to walk away from, to fight for a cause that might not even benefit them in the long run. So I'm gonna land my plane there for now.
I think that's some serious math.
I'm not asking them to do that for voter rights. I just said that you don't do that. What I'm saying is you do it to start building your own establishment, your own institutions, and even if you don't want to do that, then go to the Northeast, right? Bronny, 5 million, Stanford, 2-3 million A&I deals per student if you like that, right? There's other options.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. There's other options.
But no one's disputing what you're saying.
So there's no sacrifice if there's options.
No one's disputing what you're saying.
I think you got pressed before I hopped on the panel and made my opening statement. I feel like you was being pressed about something. So what I just said ain't had nothing to do with what you said.
We're not disputing what Ruffins is saying. We're saying the crew who did all of this for LGBTQ and chicks who want to kill their babies and all of this stuff. These the people that want us to do something now when they, like Roger said, they ain't never did nothing for us.
Yeah, I told you we ain't following that high yellow nigga. I said that. But what I also said is that we should be using this, since it is a topic of discussion, to now galvanize for something a little bit better. So that's what I'm saying also.
Yeah.
I'm saying, okay, since it's on the table, right? Organize, or what is it? Opportunity out of chaos. Use this to get black athletes to still go to black colleges, build up our institutions so we can get TV deals, so that we can get the $50 million NIL deals. The only reason why Ole Miss can offer, or the South can offer those $51 million NIL deals is because the TV rights are following the top black athletes there.
Now you
Wherever
see,
the top black athletes they're going to be, that's where the money's going to eventually end up.
Well, I usually agree with you on movies mostly, but I agree with you on that point. So definitely.
Well, I think it's problematic because it's literally the same thing that the Black Congressional Caucus is asking for. It's just for a different reason, right? You're saying, hey, go to these other schools, the monies will go to these areas. We don't have no structure to build up anything of our own. None of the people who control money has any plans to help us build up our own. They go to these schools and play. Morehouse is suddenly giving out $5 million NILs. What's going to happen after that, right? You expect the same politicians that was in there before to somehow change their mind and restructure that to improve the community? You can't ask them to do this before you get the foundational work together to get it done.
I love
it's insane. It's insane.
No, our talent can restructure college football. Our talent can restructure how money is shared when it comes to TV rights deals. That's what Mr. Ruffin is saying.
Right.
He said
who's running the
don't.
schools?
Wait, hold on. We gotta do one thing at a. We gotta do one thing at a time. Now, I understand there's all that stuff in who's running the school, but we gotta get eyes on us. And just because our enemies, we don't agree with our enemies, don't mean we spot ourselves also when there's an opportunity.
When I say what about the schools, I'm not talking about the big schools that y'all are referencing to take money away from. I'm talking about the schools you're talking about to send money to. Remember what happened to Deion Sanders when he gave this a try?
Yeah, man, but we still have to give it an opportunity.
Hold on. What I'm saying is you want the kids, right, to say, you know what, I ain't gonna go this way for my future. I'm gonna go this way, but then you're gonna put them in an environment where they're gonna get taken advantage of as well. Because these schools could have tried to recruit top athletes for the last several decades. They don't even attempt it, right?
Well,
Because
this
they
is
have no
just
interest in. They have no interest in it.
All
Honestly,
right,
they don't.
yeah,
well.
real quick. I gotta carve out some room for Tunnel Runner to get up in here. Okay, Tunnel Runner then came up. I gotta carve out some room for him.
Can I
So,
just say this really quickly, Roger?
well, let me just say after you make your statement, I gotta give it to Tunnel Runner. Go ahead.
Well, so first, we asked the kids to come. Okay, now let's say you're right. Let's just say you're right, and the infrastructure is there, and that's where we asked the other athletes and the adults to step in, right, with the management and the infrastructure and the donation of money for the things that they need. That is where the adults and the pro superstar athletes come in, right? That are playing in the South. Hey, come over here, help us build it up, help us get it organized so we don't run into the same issues that Deion Sanders had going there. Okay, that's where the adults come in. And I'll pass the mic on that.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say real quickly, y'all, if you are enjoying the content, and if you hear you are enjoying the content, because that's the type of content we give, stuff that's gonna be enjoyed. Make sure you like the video if you haven't already done that. If you can hype it up, hey, knock that out as well. Okay, y'all can leave comments after the stream. That definitely helps. But subscribe, y'all. If you like this type of content, subscribe while you have a chance. It ain't like this particular channel gonna pop up on your feed every day. That ain't this. They don't promote this one like this because we deal with some real stuff, as you can see. So make sure you subscribe. We do this at 9 a.m. Monday through Fridays, y'all. 9 a.m. Monday through Fridays, so y'all will know. So subscribe while you have a chance and tune in. Tunnel Runner, you got the flow, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, these colleges in the South, they're not asking the women because they have students, women that are paying, black women that are paying money to go. They're not telling them to sacrifice their and not go to these colleges. They're only putting this weight on the men to carry, on the athletes to carry. The black athletes mostly, because the NACP, they're supposed to be colored. So they're just telling the Samoans and the Latinos not to come either. And I don't hear them saying that. So they need to get this thing together and they need to have some plans. Mr. Ruffin is correct. They should be going to these other schools in other areas, but they need to have that stuff ready for them if they want them to sacrifice. They need to have a serious plan, and they're not telling the black students that they should also be telling all the black students, male and female, not to go to those schools if that's what they're trying to do. Everybody needs to be putting something into sacrifice, not just the black athletes, the male black athletes.
And I'm gonna also throw a suggestion out there. This is for anyone to pick up and do something with if they want to, or for people to doing it as a collective. Uh, give some black owned schools options. Give them options. You want black students to go to these particular, but give them some black owned schools to go to.
Yes.
Now I'm saying that to anybody because I'm not, you know, everybody can only do so much with what they have an opportunity to do. You know, I personally, I thought, at least I know I thought about it. I was like, man, I hope Bill Cosby actually opened up a Hillman College because that was the name of from the TV show A Different World. They used Hillman. I was like, man, I hope he opened up a Hillman for real. Now they doing them dirty right now, even financially. So I don't think that opportunity is gonna come in that way. But I'm just gonna say for black folks who always want to tell young black kids where they should go, let's think about giving them a place to go that we know white people ain't messing up all the stuff in there, or they ain't behind the scenes messing up all kinds of opportunities. So give them a place to go. Okay. Now, this movement, again, I got to look at it from the athlete perspective. If you were blessed with this talent and you think you should do this, make this sacrifice to help black people out, I ain't against you doing that. All I'm gonna say is make sure if you're going to make the sacrifice that you okay and you're 100% comfortable with making a sacrifice. So understand what that party does for you before you decide to make that sacrifice. Okay. If you look at that party and say it looks out for me and you good with it, cool. But if you can't see yourself in that party, that might not be the party you want to sacrifice for.
And one more thing,
Yeah,
Roger. One more thing. We need some tangibles, something that actually for black men from the South that's going to get out of this supporting the black conquer, the black. Forgot the name.
Caucus.
The Black Caucus. We need some tangibles, something seriously saying we're going to do this for black men.
brother. The only in order for that to happen, a lot of these black politicians need to be thrown out of office and everything else. That's what
Well,
needs to happen.
I,
Roger, you had the great point what you just said just a moment ago and everything else. I want to applaud you for that because that's what I was thinking about when you're making that statement and everything else. So with that, I'm gonna land my plane for the rest of the day. This is a very good subject, Roger. Thank you very much.
all right. Take care, brother. Glad you could join us.
You too.
Hey, hey, I heard somebody earlier mention Mizzou is one of the SEC schools that they're trying to tell these young black athletes not to go to. Man, I'm from St. Louis, and adjacent to St. Louis is East St. Louis. There is literally nothing in East St. Louis but their high school football team, which is like one of the top football teams in the nation. There's not a lot of opportunities in East St. Louis beyond football. So that's literally a pathway that they have to a college that's literally a few hours away from their hometown. And that's producing some of the top athletes in the world. J Mac went to Mizzou, so Jeremy Macklin went to Mizzou, ended up getting drafted to the Eagles. He went to Kirkwood High School here in St. Louis, and then Luther Burden. Luther Burden graduated from East St. Louis High School and went to Mizzou, and now he plays for the Chicago Bears. So you're talking about two young black men because of a local SEC school had the opportunity to go there, play good football, and go on to make millions.
They could have went to Penn State and they could have went to Chicago University too.
The NFL will find them anywhere. That's a poor excuse.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, that's the argument
But
that black women
listen. My
are
argument
using.
is this: that is a local college for them to stay near all of their family while they are on that journey to success. That
Once
matters
again,
as well.
that's a poor excuse, and all of that happened before NIL. That's a poor excuse, man. The NFL will find you if you're playing in France. It don't matter, bro.
I'm gonna be frank. One second. They could have went to Penn State and got drafted by the Eagles, and they could have went to University of Chicago and got drafted by the Bears. It's very if you telling me the Bears had to go all the way to St. Louis but can't go to their own back door to find somebody, that's crazy.
I'm gonna be frank. The problem is, our community, we have a very serious problem with making haphazard statements and plans that don't amount to anything. We're telling people to change their future path and plans because hopefully will benefit some way, somehow in the future. There's no mechanics put together for it. There's no plan laid out. There's no roadmap. You niggas don't play here, play somewhere else. You'll still be rich, and hopefully we'll get votes. This is absurd, and I don't know why you guys keep arguing this. This is every single time they've ever said that they're going to do something for the black community, it is always laid out the same way. We get no details about a plan being implemented. We need to do this for votes. What votes? Votes for what? Votes to do actually what? You vote people into office to get things done. If any of y'all can tell me what the Black Congressional Caucus plan is for the black people of America, let me know. Let me know what their first action task is. Can somebody tell me what the task
Truth
is going
teller,
to be?
they have no plan. This was haphazard.
So then
They
why
did
are we
this
sitting here
last minute.
arguing? Why are we sitting here arguing whether or not it's a good idea for young people to sacrifice their future when we don't? They haven't even given us promised us a benefit. This is
You're
like
doing that
Pan
zero.
Africans. What are y'all
Truth
niggas
teller,
doing?
truth teller, you're doing that truth telling thing again. You're doing the zero sum, like, if they don't go to the college that offer them, they're going to be dirt poor.
So
That's not what's happening.
What's the first benefit we're going to get for doing this? And when?
Because you get an opportunity to flex and show that you matter and you do have power. It's like, listen,
You mean like buying
wait.
22s? I get the opportunity to
No.
flex and show
No.
I got it.
Let me explain. This is
Uh huh.
not like saying, "Hey, I'm going to give you a bottle of Coca-Cola," but this is the only place you can get a bottle of Coca-Cola, or this is the only place you can get a soda. We're saying
Uh huh.
instead of drinking Coke, drink Pepsi. You're still going to get a good quality soda.
What
You guys are
for?
presenting it. Well, you're presenting it. You're presenting it as
I'm
if
asking you
if you
what the
don't drink this
benefit is,
Coke, you're not
sir.
going to get anything. The
Sir, I'm
benefit
asking you
is
what the benefit is, and you're struggling.
the
If
po-
you're struggling
the
that hard,
pos
then it's
the
not a good plan.
no. You're filibustering. That's all. All right, I'm just letting you
No, you
filibuster.
are.
No, but no,
Stop and
not at
answer my
all. The
question.
possible. That's because you keep
Hmm.
asking several different questions. The
No,
possible
I'm not.
benefit.
What's
It,
the benefit we're going to get?
Brother, you
Same
can't
question.
interrupt his
let,
answer and let
My
you know
man, be
what.
quiet. I'm
let
not
me know
talking to
when you're
you.
gonna stop asking the same question
I'm
so I can
waiting
Yeah,
for
answer.
my
god
answer to
damn.
my
You're
question.
not. You're not waiting. You keep listening to respond. Now, the possible benefit as black men is that we can build something for ourselves by choosing
Yeah,
for ourselves where we're going to go. That's the
yes.
benefit. This ain't about the Black Caucus. This ain't about the Democratic Party. This ain't about the NAACP. They have given us an opportunity unknowingly to show that we can make our own choices and we can own influence power base with money from colleges.
But
This
weren't we
Okay,
doing
but
that
is
already?
an opportunity for us to do something for
But
reset. If a young
but we
ourselves.
black
were
college athlete,
hold on,
if a young black
hold
college
on. But
athlete
I
chooses to go
wait,
to a
hold on
That's the
before you
answer.
go. I wanna point something out to what you said. Weren't the young men doing that already?
No,
They weren't
so none of them
choosing to go
chose to
to the
go to the
colleges,
SEC.
right?
That's
No.
what I was going to say.
Top talent still dates. Top talent still went to PWIs.
Okay, but that's where they want to go.
go ahead.
But you're
Yeah.
missing the point. You're missing what the
No,
brother just said.
It's because their choice is not what you want them to do, correct?
No,
So
no,
I'll
no, no,
ask
no. I
again,
don't. I,
what's the
I, I,
benefit? He just
I,
hold on. He just said the
right.
benefit
no,
We
was
didn't have
having the
we didn't
choice.
have
That they already
no,
have the choice. So
stop,
what's the benefit?
stop. Wait,
no.
wait. Hold on. You wait now. You wait.
Okay.
You
I'm
wait.
waiting,
Hold
I'm
on.
waiting.
So
Mhm.
first of
You
all, they didn't do it.
stop.
They top talent still
Stop
went
that nigga. Stop that nigga.
PWIs. Second point is this: what he is saying to you. This is the opportunity to build something for black men, black boys, to have empower and to enrich them. See, the problem with these niggas in these crews is that you want everything laid out and you don't want to work for it. You don't want to earn it. Sometimes they gotta make the plan. You gotta build the plane while you flying it. Because at the
Right,
end
but
of the day,
they're
at the
not
end,
being
I'm not
asked.
finished. At the end of the day, if we're going to have institutions, and if we're going to own anything in sports and entertainment, it got to start at the college level. If we're going to earn it, or own anything in sports and entertainment, we're going to have to start at the college level, because at the end of the day, ownership is what matters. And if I have to sacrifice all you niggas to get black ownership, then god damn it, it gotta happen.
You
Okay.
sound the
Now,
CDC.
but this
That's what the
why I got
CDC
to throw.
sound say.
But this why I got to
We gonna
throw in here too.
we
Um,
gonna start with truth teller.
our HBCUs black owned. Now,
No, they're not.
just for just for giggles, I did actually Google that just to see what how they was going to address it because I know they're not. Uh, and the first sentence was no, HBCUs are not inherently quote unquote owned by black individuals. So at the end of the day, uh, I that's why I'm saying you got to kind of look at this from the that young man's perspective because am I arguing because basically what we're arguing is don't go to this white owned school so you can go to this
Go to,
other white owned school. because ain't none of them black owned in the first place. So, now is there a black owned school out there? Yes,
Well,
there is a black owned school out there. That I think there might only be one or two in existence. I'm not sure on that. I have to look that up. But I do know there's at least one or two black owned college or universities that are out there. So we're arguing about don't go to this white owned institution, and you should go to this other white owned institution. So from an individual perspective, if you want me to go to a white owned institution, as a young man, I'm trying to set myself up and my family up, my potential family, for years in the future, because I'm an 18-year-old guy, maybe still 17 when I even enter into college. I'm trying to think, what am I realistically thinking about? Myself. What's good for me to do? And then you say, well, because this
that's why
political
that's
party,
why we don't that's why we don't get it.
well,
That's
I'm
why
just
we don't
saying,
get ahead because we're thinking about ourselves. We're getting the
no.
opportunity to make a political statement.
No, it's
Well,
because y'all
hold
don't
on
have
though.
no plan
I'm
for
not. I'm
nothing.
not saying it's wrong to make a political statement. What I'm also saying is the political party that wants me to not look at what I got going on for myself and wants me to look at something from a collective perspective, which I am not saying is wrong to do. Does that political party have my back as a young black man?
We don't care about the political party. We care about black men. That's where we start at.
So
Black
that's where I
men,
want to get
not
to,
the
right?
not the NAACP, not the Black Caucus, not the Democratic Party. They gave black men an opportunity to make a political statement. This is what not what they were intending on doing, but this is what they did, and we have an opportunity to take advantage of it. That's what we are arguing.
Okay,
Right.
no,
I hear what y'all are
that's
arguing. Well, hold on, Roger. I hear what y'all are arguing, but you guys are not arguing anything of tangible ability.
well,
All you're arguing is an ideology.
well,
It makes
hold
us
on,
feel
truth
better.
teller. Hold on, truth
Awesome.
teller, because I'm gonna
What
say
good is it?
I hear what you just said. I'm receiving what you just said. So now, in reception of what you just said, you're not worthy. What you just said. I'm the 18-year-old guy, and I can play. I can play ball. Okay. What should I
Yes,
do? What are you gonna tell me that I should do in
And I
this
want to
particular
answer after
situation?
him. I want to answer after him.
I think what should happen, and this should be include the parents so they can understand this is what we can do for black men. This is an opportunity for the black boys. I know this is a heavy thing for them politically, but they're not losing anything by going to another school. This is an opportunity for black men who are raising their black boys to say, we're going to make a political statement. You're still going to get the education you're looking for. You're still going to get the opportunity you're looking for somewhere else. But as the father, I can now make a political statement for black men to say, if you want our talent, you're going to have to come to us and you're going to have to give us what we're asking for in order to get it. And that gives you an opportunity to build a political power base going into the future where people now have to pay attention to what you have to say. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Okay. So as a
So
young black man, I was about to go to say Texas A&M, y'all. So now
let
you got
me
to give me the speech for me, and yeah, I'm gonna say potentially
You,
family
you're
members.
going to Cal. You're
Okay.
going
let
to
me
Cal.
let me talk to you. All right, listen, young nigga. Look, first and foremost, right? I would say go to HSBCU, lead the charge, where at least is black managed, and we can get sports going. But at the least, don't go to the South. Go to a top 30 university. Now, hear me clearly. Go to a PWI. Go to a PWI. But go to a top 30 in the West or the Northeast. So that way, if you make it into the NBA or if you make it into the NFL, great. And if you don't, you still have a world class education that you can fall back on. Texas A&M, right? It's either NFL or bust. UCLA, it is it either NFL or world class education, top 20 in America. So you can't go wrong with that. University of Chicago, Wharton, Harvard, all the same. Ivy League education. So at the end of the day, that's what you do.
Okay. And does anything change if the gentleman, not that anybody coming out of high school is guaranteed to make it into the NFL, because that's tricky. You don't really know about people
1%.
who, yeah. So, but if you are on that
One
track,
thing we do know, one thing we
go ahead, ask the question.
one thing we do know is nothing changes if we do nothing. Nothing changes if we do nothing. That we're proof positive of. If we do nothing, nothing's gonna change.
Let me do this, right?
That
So
I
if
can
you're
agree
a
with.
real, so if you're a real nigga, take your ass to Morehouse or Howard. There you go.
Okay, so I
don't need no real niggas right now.
I'm not going to talk to an 18-year-old about anything involving politics because that has nothing to do with an 18-year-old. It really doesn't. But now I will agree that is a conversation that should be had, but that's a conversation that should be had with the father, not the student athlete. And then the father explains all of that to the student athlete and lets them yeah. So I agree with that. If the conversation is going to be had, do not have it with the student athlete. Have it with.
Hold on. Break. Hold on. Time out, Roger. What your feedback on these pitches?
You said it's feedback.
I want to know your feedback.
Yeah, because that nigga Brock trying to get some shine off on what I said already. We don't appreciate it.
No. It's consistent with what I've been saying. I'm not talking to an 18-year-old about anything involving politics.
Well, I would think that the 18-year-old would talk with his father. Now, I'm going to say, realistically, a lot of mothers would be involved because y'all know how, black women and their children and all that type of stuff. But I would think this would be a great conversation for a young black man to have with his father because at least, his father has his best interest. And realistically, if my father sees something I can't see when I'm 18, I'm going to listen to my dad. It's that simple at the end of the day. I'm going to listen to my dad. My dad understands stuff that I may not understand. He may see a bigger picture. And if my dad thinks I should sacrifice, then I'm far more willing to sacrifice if my dad thinks the sacrifice makes sense.
No, so I'm saying, but after you heard what we had to say, what would your response be?
Well, I would definitely consider those options. I definitely would consider those options because at the end of the day, for me as a kid, this 18-year-old kind of kid, but still technically an adult, I'm looking for where my opportunity is. And if you can express to me that I still have these opportunities in these other places, then I am technically willing to go. But it's really I'm just saying, be straight up true. As a man that was raised by his father, it's really gonna be determined by what my dad said. If my dad say make the sacrifice and go here, I'm going. And if my dad say don't make the sacrifice and go to Texas, then I'm going. Because realistically, as a young man who has a father that loves him, has raised him, my father wants what's best for me. I don't have to understand it. Now, maybe some of y'all aren't like that, but I have always been the type of son that I am willing to listen to my father blindly. I don't need my father to explain it. Other people I want an explanation from. But if my dad say do it, I just do it.
So why in the world did you ask us what would you say to this 18-year-old? You're the one who asked for it.
Well, no, because at the end of the day, these people are asking the 18-year-old to do something other than what their plans was. So, as you know what I'm saying, from that mindset, I got to hear what somebody's going to say to the 18. Because I can't tell an 18-year-old from the part I'm seeing it from. Basically, you have a political institution asking an 18-year-old to do something different than what they want to do. And my thing is, they should be able to tell that 18-year-old why they should do it.
Roger, with all due respect, when Great Reset pitched you and I pitched you, you were like, damn, these niggas are on it. Let me find another way to disagree with these niggas. That's
I didn't even disagree with you. I didn't even disagree with you.
Hey, you see what hot sauce you doing, right, man?
Well, first of all, I didn't even
disagree for nothing, man.
I didn't even disagree with the man. I just wanted to know what they would say to this young man. Because what I'm seeing is you got these political people on TV
Bro,
telling young
bro,
black men what they should do with their lives. And my thing is, what are they getting for the
bro,
sacrifice?
first of all,
Diabolical, Roger, diabolical.
I didn't even
bro,
disagree with you. I
bro,
just said
first of
I would
all,
take what you said in
it's
consideration.
That's disagreeing. Because if they
wait,
no, wait.
hold on, hold
No.
on.
If
Let Reset get his tissue off. Let Reset get his tissue
No,
off.
go ahead and let him say what he got to say, because this is gonna be super quick. Mr. Ruff, go ahead and say it, because my
We
response is gonna be super quick and over.
we gotta get some order here, bro. First of all, it's Mr. Ruffin.
Bro, hold on, Roger, because you did disagree. You did disagree because at the end of the day, we did a great job. You said, you know what, y'all niggas right, and so you didn't say that. That's a disagreement in my world.
Look,
He
what
can't.
I
He can't
said,
do
what
that.
I
That's against
said
his
was,
religion to say somebody else right. He can't do that.
what I said was, if I would
That
expect
nigga can't
from,
close the show if he say that.
yeah, I would what I said was I would expect my father to be in on that conversation, and I think y'all said something that he would definitely consider, and then I would literally do what my dad told me to do. I think what you said is something that my father could sit down and actually say, well, okay, this makes a lot of sense, son, do this, and I'm just gonna do it because my dad said do it. That's me being realistic. I'm gonna do it because my dad said do it. And I think y'all gave me something that gives me a reason to not necessarily go to Texas A&M. Because if they was the ones with the biggest offer at the time, then that's where I would have been going.
That's the closest we gonna get to Roger saying that he was right.
Pretty much.
That's
No,
the
I
closest
did.
we gonna get.
My point was I didn't disagree with you at all. My father would consider that, and then I would do what my father told me to do.
No, but
I
I
take
think
it.
Roger, can you hear me real quick?
It's all right. It's whatever. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. We can move on. It's all
Go
right.
ahead, Chef Mike, real quick, and then we get you in,
All
bro.
right. All right, listen. I actually am. I don't disagree with what Mr. Ruffin says. You know, opportunities are all over the place. I don't disagree with that at all. A D1 athlete is a D1 athlete, no matter where they play. I do want to bring to the forefront, or bring back to our remembrance, that we are talking about this because the Congressional Black Caucus is talking about a voting issue. And we can't get away from that because it is affecting a voting issue. So whether or not, you know, opportunities are here, there, whatever, that's outside of this, is actually targeting a voting issue. And my point is this: if we're going to say we're doing this for the sake of this voting issue, why are we not going all the way, going all out? Why don't we just tell all black folks to migrate from the South?
I like it.
If they don't want to listen, but why are we only targeting black athletes?
Chef,
That's
you
my
want these
thing.
people to be
We're
broke?
only targeting a segment of the population when they're not the only voting block of the population. They're not the only voting block.
They're the
There's
youngest
still
and
more
dumbest.
black folks. There's still
No,
more
it's
black
not. It's
folks
not.
outside the college. Outside the college, there's still more black folks that live, that are born, that work in these states than are athletes that go to school in these states. There are more folks who have vested interest in these states, more black folks who have vested interest in these states than just the college students who go there for 4 years. That's my point. We're targeting not we, but they're targeting a very slim population that does not have the voting power that they're presenting that these young black athletes have. They don't have that voting power. And these universities in the SEC don't have the political power to stand up against other, not just NFL, Major League Baseball teams, but other corporations. Let me tell you what another state that's in the SEC, Arkansas. You know who's in Arkansas? Walmart Stores Incorporated, one of the biggest players. They have all of the suppliers. They have all of the businesses there.
You don't have that kind of political power at the University of Arkansas against a Walmart. You don't have it. It's not the same, and this is affecting a voting block. We're not talking about opportunities here. That's a different show. But to affect a voting block, these young athletes don't have that kind of political power, and to put this kind of pressure on them to wield a power that they don't have is actually wrong to ask them, in my opinion.
Okay,
I'll
I
keep
like to
going back
answer
to the
that.
fact.
I
Well, hold on. I
like to answer
keep going back to
part
the
of it. Go
fact.
ahead.
I hear you, but I keep going back to the fact of whether it's for voting or whether it's to accomplish something else. There's no tangible benefit anybody's working towards. You're just saying to do it because it'll help us in some way in the future. I'm not comfortable with leveraging young people's future with an outcome that I don't even know how we're going to use to benefit us or if it will benefit us. And we just out here saying it. I don't get it. If we don't know, hold on. If we don't know what we're working towards, why would you suggest somebody sacrifice to do it?
I don't think I'm
The, the,
actually all the way agreeing with you, True Teller, because I can see what Hot Sauce is saying. Like, you can take that talent anywhere, of course. I'm saying on my end that
That's
you
not
should
the
not be
point.
having that.
What's the
I'm saying,
benefit?
listen. I'm just saying, listen. To clarify, I'm saying that you should not be having a conversation with an 18-year-old student athlete.
I hear
You
you.
should be having that conversation with their father. Now, I will say, there is tangible evidence of the impact of actually choosing one of them HBCUs. If you look at what Cam Gillis has done at Howard University for their basketball team, he literally just took them to the NCAA
But
tournament.
what's the benefit for the black? They're saying do this for the black community. What is the benefit that you'd be working towards?
It's an HBCU. Now, it not might be fully owned by white people, but it is getting predominantly black colleges recognition on a larger platform.
So it's to help HBCUs get recognition and earn more money. Correct?
No, it's to help. These are HBCUs. It's predominantly black.
Right.
These
So
are
what is
these
the
are
goal
generally
to
these
do
are
with
these are
HBCUs?
generally also
struggling.
more affordable. These are also more affordable colleges for a lot of those students to go
It
to as
won't
well.
be if these guys go. Just so you know.
So I want to.
It has to start somewhere, though. It has to start somewhere.
Hold on.
I'm saying start what though? Wait, before you go, can somebody tell me what is the best? I just asked it like 3 times and
I told
nobody
you
can
already.
tell
You
me.
refused to listen. You
Not
refused to hear
you,
it.
not you. Well, you didn't tell me the benefit. You just said it will help the black community.
hey,
I'm like, how?
No, you know I didn't.
Where?
True
No,
Teller
I
got
didn't. I
brought.
told you. Hold on. Here it is right now in clear goddamn English. To own your own, to have your own and own your own and control your own sports.
Your own what?
What do you mean?
How would they do that if the school? How does that do that if the school controls it? When is this going to happen for college students?
So now I'm going to move on to the other point. Like, how can I live?
You can't even tell a benefit.
China?
Why would we listen to this?
How can I live in China and y'all in America and y'all still don't understand that money makes the world go round and money moves things in America?
It's not. It's
not.
That's part
it's
of
how
the
you use money.
Why?
It's how you use
Why
money that
are
makes
you
the world
cutting me
go
off?
around.
Why are you cutting? Bro, when you talk, I didn't say anything, right? I gave you an answer.
You're right.
You don't like the
You're
answer. Right. So, and I don't care if you don't like the answer. We're moving on.
Right.
Thank
you.
No,
we're not.
We're moving on.
No,
so,
we're not.
I'm absolutely, bro. I'm not finished, bro. I'm not finished, bro. Look, final warning. If you continue to interrupt me, I'm going to interrupt you, and I'm going to be annoying to you.
Are you threatening me?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Stop,
True Teller. Stop, True Teller.
This is still the Roger for Live. Mr. Ruffin, go ahead, brother. Come on now.
So listen, y'all think shit is sweet over here, man. I keep trying to be the good guy. You keep kicking me in my dick. I'm gonna kick you back.
Mr. Ruffin, just make the point, please, brother. Just make the point, please.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
So what I'm saying is that money's moving. Uh, um, College sports has a lot of money, brings a lot of money to the state, and that's why they're saying it, because kids have the opportunities to go to different places to be to play and get scholarships. But if you suffocate people economically, which is one of the tools we learned in civil rights, then things will change for voting. So that's why they're asking for it, because college players can suffocate a state by not playing there and letting them lose uh, deals, TV deals, sponsorships, ticket sales, etc., etc. Just like that one kid in Ole Miss, he said, "I'm not going to play if you're going to keep waving the flag," and they
Confederate
stopped.
flag, the Confederate
Yeah,
flag,
yeah,
yeah.
and they stopped. Right. So if you suffocate, especially in the South, if you suffocate colleges athletic money, which is a lot, then people start to take notice and they start making moves. That's why they're asking. And so it's not about them having political power, it's the fact that they're economic engines, they're cash cows. And that's why you're asking them to do this.
Yes. And that was along the same lines of what I was going to say. So I wouldn't miss the rough it all the way on this one here. Um, it is about money. It's like these college athletes are huge GDPs almost, man. They're producing so much money per athlete. They're not voting. They're not on the voting block like the rest of us on the voting block. They're on the voting block with their feet, and the money follows them where they go. And if you can go and talk to the parents and the fathers of these boys and get them to understand the importance of whatever mission, truth teller, you're trying to accomplish, then it matters. Because now people understand, wait a minute, we got to go to the parents and hopefully the fathers of these men and figure out what they want so we can get what we want. That's what's important. It's the money that's important, because these white folk, they go where the money is and they bow down to the money. You have to use the money to get what you want. And that's what me and Mr. Ruffin are saying. Finally, bro, stop using the holy name of hot sauce. Ain't nobody coming to listen to you, Lotus.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Oh
Ruffin.
my
I'm sorry,
goodness.
Mr. Ruffin. I'm
Oh
sorry,
my
I
Mr.
just
Ruffin.
can't.
I'm
goodness.
sorry.
Mr.
Let me
Black
Ruffin
get in
got
there
Reset.
too.
I'm
something
Let me
still
right.
get in
The
there.
son is.
Black.
Hey, I
Hold
have
on,
a
Chef.
question for
Black
Mr.
Reset. I'm
Ruffin.
still But hold on, before you go, I'm still unclear on what the benefit is. Y'all said a lot.
Me
I can
too.
answer
You said
that.
everything. You said
We'll
you
talk to
said
you back.
everything.
We'll,
You said the leverage. We'll have leverage. They'll know what we're saying. They'll understand us. There's more money for us to do what we want. And I'm like, I don't
Respect.
know how y'all figure all of this out. But all I'm saying is, how does this contribute to the goal? Mr. Ruffin actually did have a goal. He's
we'll,
gonna
I'll
he had a vague goal, but he did have one saying contributing to the black community. Great,
Hey,
it's
truth
a
great.
teller, truth teller, truth teller.
But where does
Imagine
this
if you
come
were
from?
able to
How does
go.
this happen
All right.
with some college students doing this?
Imagine that you were able to essentially put together a plan effective enough to have many young black athletes signed to like SCC schools, and then
Mm-hmm.
all at the same time enter the transfer portal and just go where they want to go.
Okay.
uh,
Imagine what shockwaves that would send through the NCAA football community to like see all of them in conjunction choose to not go there at the same time while committing to
Okay.
those places and then entering the transfer portal.
Okay.
there's an additional part to add to this too. Like, so you have the financial side, but then you also have, if we're going to be honest about it, we have the issue of respect. There's a lot of different reasons why people go to and choose one university over another, and they'll go into a whole lot of non-tangibles. It happens all the time. When you go and you look at the top tier universities, like they're pretty much comparable. The facilities are amazing, they're spectacular, but they also try to sell you on culture. And when you
Right.
go and you facilitate a culture of respect, that is kind of what the aim of this is by using your talent power. And in terms of those HBCUs, like, okay, you might have HBCUs that aren't like black owned, but then you also kind of look at who works there, who are the employees there, and a lot of times those people are black.
That's true, but I'm still unclear what the benefit is. Now, I understand you guys are saying it'll give leverage. That's what you're literally saying. The boys will have more leverage if they do this. But then the question is leverage for what? Right
No,
now,
no,
if
no,
it's just
no.
for
You're
them
you're
to,
miss
if it's for
you're
them
miss.
to benefit more, like money, I completely understand that. If this was to say, hey, we want our boys to be able to go to these colleges and be able to make more money and benefit more, then this is a plan. I'm not saying this wouldn't be a great plan for that.
Okay,
What I'm saying is everything y'all talked about so
truth
far isn't that. It's literally other
truth teller.
things
Let me
that
let
are
me give you let
vague
me give you
and fantasy. Uh-huh.
no, truth teller. Let me give you a slightly different focus. It's not the
Sure.
boys. The boys are not the focus. It's the black community. So when you this is why it's important to have families. When you have a father that you have to talk to, a father and a mother that you have to talk to, you're not just answering to that 18-year-old kid, you're answering to that family. And when you have multiple families moving in unison together, saying, we're not going here because of this, somebody's going to come up with some answers to that problem. Just like when Kyrie Hill said, I'm not playing at Ole Miss because of the flag. That wasn't his idea.
The flag happened
That
here in
was not
Louisiana
his
too.
idea.
I'm not. So you're missing the entire point. They are
Okay.
suggesting to do this for their what they see as a benefit in these people voting and controlling how these states handle the voting system there. That's not the plan that you
Yes.
guys are talking about. You guys are not talking about that at all, right? You guys are talking about, i.e., benefiting the black community. I say,
Yes.
cool. How is this going to benefit the black community? You just laid out structure a family, it'll improve family structure. I don't know how. You just laid out there'll be money and decision making between the child and the father. Cool. He'll have more money, but he'll have that whether he goes to this schools in these states or not, right? So then what would be the benefit to the black community if they neglect these states and go elsewhere? How does that help the black community?
It's very layered. It's very layered. One, the
I
young
understand. Give
man
me
under.
one. Just give me one
Okay,
layer,
so
please.
the young men begin to understand that they do have political power. I don't even understand why we're trying to avoid 18-year-olds understanding and having political power.
Yeah, I don't think
Your
we should do that either. Yeah, I agree with
yeah,
you.
yeah. So that it gives these young boys an opportunity to understand. Listen, you're in real life now, and you do have a political power and political voice if you use it correctly. So that's one benefit. Two,
Okay.
it also gives eyes and ears to the families of these individuals and the communities of these individuals, that so that people who do want things from them or want their vote say, hey, they have a voice, and you're going to have to listen to them if you want them to cooperate. It's just the beginning of something that can be bigger later, and it's an onion with layers to it. Does that make
and we
sense?
should and we should
It
form the
does, but
practice of political power. Like it should become a
we,
practice and a habit of demonstrating power,
Yes.
collective power
I
over
agree
and
with that.
over again.
I agree with that 100%. But what I want to ask is, does that require these boys to change what schools they go to for us to show our political power and or
With
exercise it?
okay, to answer you directly, within the opportunity presented now, yes, this is just an opportunity that happened to be presented to us because of something else that we as black men can take advantage of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Take advantage of it how? If the boys ignore this and do their
I'm a,
thing, it establishes exactly what you guys are saying.
I
So
got a
why do we need them to
blindfold.
sacrifice anything?
I got a blind. They're not sacrificing anything. It's a circular argument now. I got a blindfold
What
and
do you
cigarette for
mean?
you because I'm ready to
If
shoot you,
my
man.
NIL
I'm ready to
deal,
shoot
if
you.
my NIL, wait, if my NIL deal is bigger going to Texas versus going to California, I'm not sacrificing.
No, you can still get the homestead exemption in California.
He said homestead exemption. All right, man.
All right, can I ask my question now?
Yes.
You got me with that one. You got me.
All right, my
Y'all need to
question
look up
is
what the homestead exemption is. Homeowners. Go
my,
ahead, look
my
it
my
up.
question is this, and my question is for Mr. Ruffin. But first, I want to ask, because I do not want to misquote you at all. I want to make sure this is what you said. If you're a real nigga, you'll take your ass to Morehouse. That's what you said, right?
No, I said if you're a real nigga, go either to a HFCCU or to a top 30.
Okay. All right. So I'd like to know what's the difference between what you said there and Joe Biden saying, well, this is the difference if you're black or not, whether you vote for me. How is that any different? How do you all not sound just like the Democrat Party? And I'd like you to answer that. How do you not sound like Joe Biden when he said, you vote for me because that's the difference in whether you're black or not?
Okay, cool. So and just for the host, if Truth Teller has any problem with what I'm saying, I don't care. My answer is my answer, and I'm not going to answer it a second time. Now to Chef Mike's point. First, I'm black, so that already makes it worlds different. Worlds different. Number two, I'm not saying do this for the political party. I'm saying use this opportunity and hijack it like they hijack all of our other stuff. And this is where I have a problem with black people a lot of times. We don't know when to seize an opportunity. Right now they're saying, okay, athletes, let's boycott for this. Well, when the civil rights happened, feminism hijacked our stuff with Title IX. So why can't we be hijackers and hijack this for starting to establish black institutional power? And that's how it's totally different.
Yes.
That's why I'm not Joe Biden, because number one, I'm black. And number two, I am speaking for the overall benefit for black people moving down the line. And that's real nigga talk.
Okay.
Don't let white liberals tell them where to go. Let black men tell them where to go.
There you
That's
go.
your argument.
Yes. Even if it's a PWI.
Interesting. Okay, so now then, what happens when
I don't disagree.
these young black athletes, they opt to go along with the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus, and they don't go to these schools in the SEC in these states that are targeted. What happens when these schools now target international players? Because we can't, skip past the fact that happens. You do have a ton of international players, because we're not just talking about football and basketball. We are talking track and field. We are talking baseball. We are talking soccer. We are talking a ton of sports that are international. What happens when said schools, instead of acquiescing to this pressure, they go and get international students? And what happens when the schools that these students do go to don't give them the same opportunities that they had at the schools in the SEC?
So unless these niggas are Jamaican, we don't got no problems for track and field. Second, and shout out to the Jamaicans, they fast as hell. But
that's what I'm saying. Come on,
unless they're Jamaican, we ain't got no problems. Second,
come on, man.
Look at the NBA. Look at Adam Silver's NBA. All-time record low of NBA viewership. Why? Too many international niggas. We don't have the dunking, the passing of Sean Kemp, Dominique Wilkins, the high-flying alley-oops like Dr. J, the cross-dressing of Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman. That's why the NBA is at all-time low.
No,
I
damn.
can't disagree with you on that one. I'm gonna have to flow with you on this one right there. I'm gonna have to go with
Right? It's at an all-time low
I'm gonna slide.
because
I'm gonna
international
slide
players,
out the boat. I'm gonna slide out the boat for a second. I'll be right. I'll be back.
right? International players. So I mean, you cannot replace. First of all, you cannot replace black athletes. You just can't replace them. We're irreplaceable, right? So unless the ass are Jamaican, we ain't got nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Shout out to No
Okay.
Placeholder. You always
All
say
right.
I'm talking about Jamaicans. So track and field,
All right.
nobody can touch them. All right, so shout out to No Placeholder.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you for your response. I appreciate it. And with that, I'm going to drop down because I got a few things to take care of. So I will holler at y'all in a little bit. Peace.
Hey man, it's been good to be here with you, Chef Mike.
I'm all for overtaking them to accomplish a different directive of a plan. It's just doing this is
True teller.
there's no
True teller.
effort
We
to it.
love you.
There's no benefits
True,
to be gained from this. It's just
you're
True teller.
negative Nancy, bro. You are a
True,
negative
true,
Nancy. That's what the fuck you are,
hey,
man.
what do you mean? I
true,
just don't
true
want people to
tellers.
waste their
True tellers.
time for nothing to be the outcome. That's all.
True tellers basically saying you haven't convinced me, and I'm saying for the rest of the
No,
panel,
I'm
true
saying
tellers.
I'm just
Nah,
looking
we sick
for
of you
what the
niggas.
benefits are, and I'm still not
We
hearing
sick of
nothing
you niggas.
tangible.
Yeah,
We
I
gonna give
don't
you.
care.
We
Look,
gonna give you. We gonna give
I'm
you
just
back
saying.
food stamps. You happy? We gonna give you back
Listen,
food stamps. How about that?
this is 80 years of hearing it'll help the black community,
so
right?
truth teller,
No,
truth,
no, 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 no. See, that's
truth
what
teller. Let me
you
hold on.
being
Let me say this
you.
real quick.
Go ahead, go
Let me
ahead,
say
go
this.
ahead, go ahead.
Truth teller. Right now, bro.
Yo,
I love you, bro. But I'm just gonna say this. I am totally fine with you not agreeing with me. Okay, so don't ask me shit again, man. Because I don't have an answer
okay.
for you. I don't have an answer for you. All right, I
I
just
hear
don't
you.
have
True,
an answer.
I just don't like high
truth,
level plans, man. We're not in that no more. We're not into the
true
hope.
teller, true teller is from New
I
York.
voted for Obama
That
for hope and see where it got
that
us.
nigga said. Truth teller saying your shoes ain't green, they olive. Now let's argue. That's what he doing.
No, I said
I
you don't
can't
have no
stand
shoes
this
on.
nigga.
You wear flip flops, nigga. You wear flip flops. You ain't even got no shoes on. Is what I'm saying. And y'all niggas
This
y'all keep
nigga's
arguing with me
ridiculous.
about I'm wearing Jordans. It's like nigga, you wearing flip flops. The standard ones like that. You got it between your toes. You talking about you got on Jordans? No, we can't just sit here and act young people. Now, granted, we got these older folks, right? We got boomers, we got Xers that are actually very rich and very influential, and ain't nobody asked them to do anything.
Because they sold out already.
Well, so then if they're asking the young people to do it, how we gonna ask the young people to do it too?
Okay, and
Because
this is
they
where I
have the
jump back
talent.
in. This is where I
They
jump
got the
back in.
talent.
Okay.
Oh shit.
First of all, shout out to No Placeholder. He said Truth Teller is Jamaican too, representing it, brother. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to you both. Now I'm gonna say this. I understand what you guys are saying about what future may be, what future may come. I think y'all have an actual point. Now I'm also saying there's rich and powerful men because of sports. And it does give you an opportunity to be a rich and powerful man. And when you're rich and powerful, you can give more influence. So at the end of the day, you're really talking about influence now or influence later. Now, do a bird in the hand is better than two in the bush. So I think black athletes will do people a great service to start going to maybe HBCUs would definitely help. I've never found a reason to argue against that. But I'm also going to say realistically, when you're the person with the opportunity, when you're the person that can get that NIL deal, if you're a person who can play, 3-4 years and make 1, 2, 3, $4 million bucks, I don't see why to walk away from that, because if I take that money and use that money wisely, I can have a great impact in my future. The more money I get, the more I can impact. I do see that as a very real opportunity. The more money I get, the more I can impact. So if I want to truly make an impact, it makes sense for me to go after some money. And because other people who've maybe done a lackluster job of their position, I don't know if anybody from a political standpoint can make me give up. Let's say it's just a guaranteed $1 million. I played 4 years and all I get is $1 million. Y'all know how long it's gonna take the average person to get $1 million? I mean, do we actually think about that? You know, you take somebody who make 50,000 a year. What's that? 20 years to get $1 million?
Roger, I don't even know if you're doing this on purpose or not at this point. We're not saying give up all the money. We're not even saying give up any money. We're just saying go over there and get the same money.
Oh, no. I do believe that's legitimate if you're at the top of the top. If you're probably top of the top, you probably can work out just fine at the other location. I would agree with that. Now, folks who are not at the top of the top, I think they would have to factor in something differently.
Well, but here's the situation, Roger. What we're saying is this: the Division One athletes. If you're D2, D3, it don't matter because nobody come to see your ass anyway, right? The TV
Right.
Division One. So this is what we're talking about, right? If you're not the guy or that girl, you don't matter anyway. Whether you go there or not, people ain't really there for them. But if you're Kevin Durant,
no, I feel you.
Like we,
or somebody
like we don't.
It's
we don't care. We don't care what Brock. We don't care what broadcast Brock go on. Ain't nobody listening to him.
Yeah.
We come here to listen to Roger.
No, I get you. It really is about whether you're Otis or not. Did the people come to see you? You know what I'm saying? Are you the voices, as they said? Are you the voices? Because we lead this song, that song. We the voices, okay? We the voices, all right?
Gladys Knight, and nobody know the names of the pimps, right?
At all.
Right, so there
At all.
You ain't got to do that to the pimps.
We're saying the Gladys Knights of the world and the Ruffins of the world need to, rethink some things, right? But if you're a temptation like Brock, take his ass and do what you're gonna do.
Well, I think that should be said, and people should kind of come to terms with that if they're gonna make this type of play. And that's why I say from it's really got to be an individual decision. You got to look at it from your actual perspective. What opportunity do you truly have? And I'm gonna say shout out to Afro Merchant. He say don't chase the bag, but donate to us. NAACP. Now I'm gonna say that's a legitimate statement because of the type of reputation that the NAACP over time has carved out for themselves. So for me, I'm not going to listen to the NAACP too quickly anyway, and that's just real talk. Okay, but I am going to say we do need to make a clarification of which athletes can do what. Yes, if you are the main attraction, yeah, you probably can go to some other place and you will be discovered. They already saw you anyway. Let's keep it real. They sent you a letter to come to their college. They saw you anyway. So they will see you if you do decide to go to Morehouse.
The pros.
Wait a second.
Let me say this
real quick. Okay, go ahead. I want to go after him.
The pros know kids at 12, Roger. More Pop Warner. Right? The pros know these kids from 12. The pros were looking at LeBron James since he was like 14.
I'm not arguing against that. I'm really kind of.
That's all I'm saying. So that's all I'm saying. Like these guys, you're not sacrificed to anything.
No. I'm trying to strengthen that part of the argument by saying if we make it the top tier people, We got to
Yeah,
clarify by saying the
Yeah,
top
yeah.
tier
Now the
people.
truth tellers of
yeah.
the
So
world,
that's what
yeah,
that's what I'm trying to make clear. So this is not asking all black athletes. That's not what we're doing. That's not even what they're presenting. They're
right,
saying the best, the guys that are like, that if this dude don't blow his knee off his whole body, he going pro.
Well,
These are the guys that we're talking about. Like we're saying, don't go to Texas because Texas is doing some crazy stuff right now. The whole state is doing some crazy stuff. Go to Michigan
right.
because Michigan offered you anyway, and they offered you the
well,
same money you was gonna get at
well,
Texas.
I'm gonna say they are asking, based on how they're presenting the argument, they are definitely asking, if not
But,
all, the vast majority of athletes to not go to
No,
those
no, no,
schools.
no, 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 no,
man,
no.
hold on, but
Regular,
Roger,
regular, regular niggas like Bronx can still go to Texas because they still gonna be garbage. We don't care.
But Roger, when you
Hey,
listening,
if I go to
when
Texas,
you
we winning.
listening, hold on, but Roger,
That was
when
love.
you
That was
listening to
love
the
respect.
reports, right? When you
Hmm.
listen to when you look at the videos, you put 4 links in the video. You put 4 video links in there, right? So you got the high yellow nigga, you got the view women and all that, right? So when you look at them, I mean, yes, there's the word they're saying is this, but the spirit of what they're saying is that, hey, you top guys, we ask you because they're really talking about the top guys, right? If you're a truth teller of the world, go to Texas, right? Yeah, that don't make sense, right? They
Yeah, we don't
for a
give a
truth
damn.
teller, that doesn't make sense because they're not the guys, right? But they're talking about the guys and the girls, right? If you are that girl from Stanford who won, she's the first black woman to win Olympic medal in swimming. If you're Gabby Douglas, if you are FloJo, then yeah, we're talking to you, right, from
What?
track and field.
I think this problematic that I'm gonna say, to me, is problematic that they weren't making that clear enough, because
Yeah,
as I
true.
think about the idea, I can see how the top guys can redirect things. But if you're a regular person who may not
Yes.
make it into the league, this is my shot to get some millions. I could literally leave college with 2 or 3 million bucks. Yeah, I got to take that deal. I
Yeah,
got to take that. I love my community, but I got to take this opportunity to go make $3 million in
and
a
that's
short
fair.
period of time. Because if I'm out here living a regular life, and this is nothing against people with a regular life, but the math is, if you make 50,000 a year, it's gonna take you 20 years to make $1 million.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it is what it
Right,
is on that
right.
note.
This is This is a responsible ask. This is not a blanket ask. It's a responsible ask. We're only asking athletes that have all of the options.
Yeah,
We're
well, I
not
think that.
asking athletes that only got one option. That's not what we're doing.
Well,
Right.
I no, I think that's what you guys aren't doing. I think the people who are in these clips, they are not necessarily differentiating because they care about themselves and not necessarily the athletes. So
No,
I
the
think that is
reason
what they're doing.
No, but Roger, the reason why I think they're asking the same thing we are, they're just not articulating it correctly, is because what they're in essence are saying is that we want to economically harm these universities to get these universities to fight on our side, right? So a
Yes.
truth teller is not going to economically harm, right, a university because the skills is right? But a reset in me, yeah, we're going to economically harm because we the Kobe's, right? We're the
I
Kobe,
appreciate that. Appreciate that.
right? That's what so they're saying it, but they're just saying it in a roundabout way because the Bronx of the world and the Pips of the world, they economically harming nobody.
Well, I'm glad y'all got that much faith in them. I don't. Okay, so I
No,
think
no, 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 no. No, we're not saying we're with them. We're saying this is an opportunity for black
no,
men
no.
and
Yeah,
their
yeah, yeah.
I,
sons
I,
to take
I,
this position.
I agree that if we get our top to do this, we can make progress that'll help us from a general perspective later. I do agree with that,
No,
and
but I
I, and
mean,
I,
but
and
that's
I
the
think
NAA. But what I'm saying is that when you're listening to the NAACP, that is their goal because they keep referring back to they keep referring back to the civil rights and how civil rights was so successful is they were able to economically harm white establishments.
No. I do get that. But my thing is, because they didn't present it that way, it needs to be presented as, here's an idea, but we need to do it this way. So we need to have our, top of the top say, hey, man, consider these other schools because you are powerful enough that you will bring the cameras to you. And there are people who are like that. Let's just keep it real. Deion Sanders was a recent example of somebody who's strong enough to bring the cameras to them. Yeah, he went to go deal with an HBCU. So what did they do? They just brought the cameras to him because he was Deion Sanders. So these college kids, well, some of these college kids will have that opportunity. And I'm totally okay with them doing that because they don't have to give up anything to do that. Now, if you would have to give up an opportunity at a few $1 million, I don't think it would be wise for you to do that, because if you can get $1 million in 4 years, and we only talking $1 million versus $1 million in 20 years, the folks just sound better.
I think that the politicians just got used to like political talk, so instead of like explicitly stating what the goal is, they ended up having to implicitly state what the goal is.
No, I think they just don't care. That I honestly think they want any person who has the opportunity to play at a college level to just do what they want them to do, because they don't really care about their outcome. I'm going to say that, and I want that to be plain and clear. These politicians or these people, these political figures, they don't care about your outcome as an individual black man. That's why they're not making no separate, because they don't actually care. But I do think black men should learn to wield power when it makes sense. So I'm saying, if they listen to the Roger Report Live, we can say consider their offer based on what we're saying here, because they don't care about them people. I'm not going to sit here and pretend. It's not my opinion that they meant to separate the well-known athletes from the lesser-known athletes. To me, that is not their intention. They don't care about any of those athletes' outcome. They only care about the outcome they're chasing. That's what I believe personally, and that's real talk. Okay. These folks do a lot of stuff, and I just don't buy into everybody being so smart and educated, and they just so mistakenly on how they present stuff. I can't buy into all that at the same time. You supposed to be top folks. You're supposed to be educated people. You know how to present yourself. That's how you got the spot you in the first place. So I don't think they're making any mistake in their presentation of what they're doing. They just want any guy, you know what I'm saying, do they think will help move America to sacrifice whatever, because they don't care about that guy's outcome. That's what I truly believe. And to me, that's what the evidence has shown me over the years. So I don't think any black man should consider it for them. It's just, if you're a black man saying, you know what, if we make this move, we can do things better for ourselves in the future, regardless of what these other people are talking about, then now I think it's the right move for you. But if you're not in that position, no, you stay at that D1 school. And guess what? You let some of these guys who were going to run these D1 programs, you let them go to these other organizations. And now people who couldn't necessarily get that spot in the D1 program, you got a better opportunity too. Because if you was a quarterback that was going to go pro regardless, and now you open up a spot for another quarterback at a D1 school, so now you're letting him at least get looked at, I think that's a help in a multitude of ways. But if you're not that type guy, you take that NIL deal where you can make the most money off of it, and you do what you do, and hopefully it works out for you.
Now you're making sense, Roger. Damn, it took almost 3 hours, but you finally got it.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to say, I'm glad you finally understand that makes sense. It took you almost 3 hours. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate it. Sometimes you got to drag them along, people. Sometimes you got to drag them along.
Gotta help them reset sometimes.
Yeah. And man, I had to help these guys, go with what I consider from very beginning was a decent argument, but it don't quite make sense. I had to make the argument make sense. I had to get them to a point where they had to start differentiation between players so it would actually make sense for black people from a collective standpoint. You know, and it's okay that I had to do that. It's okay. Because I ain't throw out what they said right from Jump Street. Okay.
Hey, I hit that
Like
in the
it's
super
something to
chat
what y'all
earlier.
saying. Something to it.
This is Roger's way of saying this is my idea the whole time.
No, I'm not gonna even say that because real talk from Jump Street, my thing was you got to give me a reason as that 18-year-old in that position to not follow my plans. You got to, you know. And y'all said something that didn't quite move the needle, if you ask me. But as I start getting into certain things and making y'all have to look at something different and then forcing them to make a differentiation between the level of the athlete, now it can actually make some sense.
We were saying that from the beginning.
Cool. Which is okay, brother. Okay. I feel you. Okay. It's all right. Bless your heart. That's all I'm gonna say. Bless your heart. Okay.
This nigga.
Because I'm saying what they were presenting is that if you an athlete in this kind of position, just say screw it and go just do what I tell you to do. And I don't think any of us can make a good sound argument that any of these people care about what black men are doing, which is why they pick them to make the sacrifice. These are young black men. It'll be easier for us to get them to make a sacrifice than say, go to the city of Atlanta and ask every black player on every sports team to sit out until we get this resolved. Because they could have did that too. I'm just saying. You know, you could go to everybody who played for the Hawks and say, look, y'all, we trying to get this done politically. Heck, real talk, it's your off season right now anyway. Because there ain't but 2 teams playing. All you really got to do is make a statement at this point and say we won't play next year when our league start back up. You could go to the football players who, unless my math is off, they're not even playing right now, and just make some statements about what they could do later on down the road. You know, so you know people, and I don't think people be making mistakes. I think these very quote unquote educated people present what they want presented, and they do it deliberately. You know, and every black man don't matter to them for the most part. It is what it is.
And they ain't tell the Atlanta Hawks players to do that because the crackers that pay the Atlanta Hawks niggas is the crackers that pay the NAACP.
There you
go. There you go.
You know, and if I think, man, if I'm in that position, I can get into this thing and get me a nice little NIL deal and get me 3-4 minutes, especially if I'm playing football. Cause one bad injury, the career gone. Let's keep that real. One bad injury, the career is gone. I got to get mine now. And that's real. Now, if I'm top of the top where I can get mine anywhere, cool. But if I'm not, man, I got to get mine right now because I don't know that NFL is going to come calling for me. I only got potential. I'm a freshman. It's a long way between right now and the NFL. You know, just keeping it real. So I think y'all done kind of went quiet. So I think y'all done. So since y'all done, we're going to go into final statements. All right. So truth teller, you up first. What you got?
Yeah. The reason why I don't agree with this whatsoever is it's a poor and inefficient way of doing what everybody was hoping for or would desire for benefits. There's a whole lot more options that are more effective than doing this without leveraging the future of young people. So I'll leave it there.
Well said, brother. Well said. All right. You're not worthy. I mean, fitting name. You're not worthy of any last statement?
I think aside from the NAACP, the Black Caucus, and all that other stuff, I think it's an opportunity for black men and black boys to gain some political power. And I think the opportunity should be taken seriously. Um, other than that, truth teller, we don't care what you're like. We don't care.
Okay. Inspired Truth Broadcast. Any last statements for you?
Yeah. I think that anytime that we can find an opportunity to demonstrate collective power through our talent and our skills, we should take the opportunity to do it, if only just to get in the practice of doing it. I think that we have an opportunity here to take maybe a poorly formed concept and turn it into a productive concept for us moving forward. And all of these places, every single one of these places do push culture. Like they tend to have similar facilities that are spectacular facilities. Maybe one might have a barber shop in the gym additionally, but for the most part, they are pushing a lot of intangibles, and respect should be an intangible thing that we want to actually try to get moving forward.
All
And yeah,
right.
this is gonna be for the elites.
Okay. Shout out to you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Bronk, what you got for us?
Hey, first off, I'm gonna say thank you, Roger, for clearing up all the miscommunication there and being right the whole time. You know, brought a lot of good ideas to the platform today. I'm gonna say this.
Brown nose.
I think we're gonna have to remove USC from that list of colleges that are acceptable to go to because them Negroes removed Reggie Bush Heisman Trophy for over a decade, and we can't forgive them for that. So we're gonna throw them on that list as well, and that's my closing statement.
That's a tangible benefit.
Hey
Them
man,
niggas
who
under the
say we
bus for
can't do
Reggie.
what we want to do around these parts? All right. Cheryl, excuse me, Charcoal Trump. You have the flow, my brother. You have the flow.
These people ain't care about us, period. And all of a sudden, they care about us. But they don't care about us. And it sounds crazy to say, but if they're telling you to give away your bag, but still donate to them like somebody put in the super chat, it don't make no sense. They're never there for us when we need them. They never there for us when we don't need them. And right now, we don't need them. Black men, hold your votes and do it and hold your votes for somebody who's going to give you something. These people ain't never gave us nothing in the I don't even know how many years. So why are we even listening to them right now? This was a needed conversation because I haven't seen anybody talking about it. To be honest with you, not even trying to fluff Roger's feathers and all that, but I haven't seen anybody talking about it or going at it like we have gone at it. These people don't mess with us. But all of a sudden they need us to get more broker like they always saying we are. To stop getting education like they say we don't have. Man, I wish I could curse on purpose, but I can't.
Don't do it.
So
Don't do it.
I
Don't do it.
pass the mic.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say shout out to you for bringing that point up. It does sound really weird to tell black men don't go to a college for whatever your reasons is. If you keep saying black men need to go to college more, because I keep seeing that all over the place. You're not educated enough, so don't go to college. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna let you square that circle. I'm gonna say, y'all, I appreciate everybody who came up and joined in. I do believe this is a much needed conversation. I do think there was something to it. It's just unfortunately people who actually care about black people wasn't the people making the argument. Now, I'm gonna say that. Now, anybody who say, "Hey, man, you saying something about me too," hey, brother, you ain't convinced me, or sister, you ain't convinced me neither. Because do I know you, the person that care about black people? And if you are in any type of political position, and I don't know that you care about black people, are you doing your job well? That's on you. Okay. So when it comes down to it, I think black men got to consider what's good for us, and if your agenda lines up with what's good for us, we'll do it. And if your agenda don't line up with what's good for us, we should ignore you. It's that simple at the end of the day. I do think voting is powerful. And I know some people think voting don't count. I'm going to always say you got to vote to even show that your vote don't count. You know, you got to at least prove that it don't count by actually casting the vote. But vote for yourself, y'all. And if you got a chance to get you $3-4 million in a 4-year time period, somebody better give you a real good reason for you to not take up that opportunity, because money creates power, which creates influence. And that's real talk, y'all. I say it again for you. Money creates power, which creates influence. Y'all ain't gonna never know of a Roger who ain't trying to get some more money. And I do not love money, but I do understand money can provide opportunities for me. So you ain't gonna never meet the Roger that don't want some more money. I always want some more money. And that's real talk. And I do believe it's our responsibility. If we on the right side of the fence about stuff, y'all, we have a responsibility to go get the money so we can have more influence than the people who are on the wrong side of the fence. Just think about that. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Subscribe to the channel. We do this 9 a.m. Monday through Friday. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.